One of these days I'll do a lot of it.
So, Tom hasn't. I told the other three, but since y'all are here now, Tom informed me that his school is taking up too much time, so he's gonna
So he's got to quit in order to
quit the campaign. Yeah, well, that's what I told him.
Just the ones they already have, because it's like, nothing happens. I don't know. I'm like, this is boring.
So yeah, Tom's not gonna be filming this for a while because he's gotta do school stuff.
You better not.
Sadie, does that seem like it might be yours? I mean, to be fair to her, everything seems like hers. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'm home alone for 2 weeks, so I'm glad.
There's Cat.
She's in Texas dealing with finally cleaning out her parents' house, like the final bit of it, so they could sell the place. Yeah, basically going through a bunch of old stuff, and sounds real great. On the bright side, there's a sweet old stereo that she might bring home, so I'm excited for that.
Do they play like records?
It has a cassette player and a record player, and I don't know if that's an 8-track. That would be really cool. When I was still working for Washington over here at the library, they somebody donated a reel-to-reel 4-track that had an 8-track player in it. I don't know if they've used it yet. It's just sitting in a closet. Yeah, it's
Sort of.
well, it's. I think it was made in 1962 or something like that. Like it's real cool. But that was for the whole
They
memory.
used to make record players cars. Pretty interesting.
I heard of this. Yeah, that's a great page. Okay, so does everybody remember where we were last time? So yes, after dealing with your last bit of business, well, required business anyway, in the City of Doors, Sigil, you decided you were going to make your way back to Exandria. Although, very last minute, one of you thought, well, maybe I should stay here and try something else. But still did not. So we're going to start from there. Let me see something. Okay. So, imagine, if you will, a watery cavern. Some light filters down through a hole somewhere in the background. About 100 or more feet overhead, rocky outcroppings of different sizes, hang, mosses, things like that. Most of the floor of the cavern is covered by shallow water. Except in one space, a small hill seems to rise out of the water here in the cavern. It's a fairly quiet, restful kind of place. Because there's some water falling quite a bit over to one side of the cavern where the light is coming in. It's almost kind of a white noise generator. You could fall asleep in this cavern fairly well. But focusing in on the small hill, there's suddenly kind of a twitch of light, and then a couple more twitches of light right above the crest of the hill. Suddenly you see a large Goliath-type person fly out of a portal, rolling down the hill into the water, splashing, and just like landing eventually just on her butt. You see Crumb in the water, followed by, who went next? Rowan. Same thing, except it doesn't even roll, just flies out and lands in the water, tumbling. And then the metal child flies out. There's another kind of light, and then there's a pause, and then Chomp flies through. When it's not flashing, the portal actually can't be seen. So as you all land, it stops flashing, and you find yourself soaked, a little bit bruised, but none the worse for wear, at the bottom of this hill, about knee depth water, knee depth on an average human. A little bit deep for Chomp, but not too bad. With that, what would... Oh, and then, well, before Chomp comes out, you see, of course, a humanoid lion being of Lysander, who just joined the group, fly out to... You land in the water, but managed to catch yourself on all fours, of course, because...
There's water everywhere.
Oh, there's water everywhere in here. It's a huge cavern, probably 1,000 feet by maybe even more.
Rolling up like
A few hundred feet away, there's this massive roaring waterfall that you can't quite see through, but there's light pouring through with it as well into this cavern. It's fairly shallow water, and then you land right next to this hill that the portal was up.
I'm trying to get on the hill
Okay.
the right way.
Whatever else are you doing?
That was fun. Let's do it again. But there's no portal back.
I mean, you don't see one immediately. You glanced back because you were the first through. So glancing back after you fell, you saw that it would flash into being as something came through it. But other than that, it's not visible. It may still be there.
Do we know where we are?
You don't right away.
Oh yeah, the portal we went through was just
Near the Underdark, right?
To
Well,
the-
Isn't that supposed to be?
It was to an unknown location underground somewhere in Exandria. Was the
but
description.
Exandria was like, that was kind of like we were like, where's the portal to Exandria? And he was like, that one. So
Yeah.
we're somewhere on the right planet.
All right. Anybody who would like
Unless they
to
lied to us.
roll a perception check to take a look around. Lysander is walking up the hill, creeping up a little bit. As you step onto
Definitely just out of the water.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm getting like that.
As you step onto the hill, it seems to be made of stone. Not necessarily dirt. It's very hard. It's a little bit scrabbly walking up. It's hard to, as you slowly start trying to climb up it, it's a bit hard to get purchase.
At 8.
And a 19.
19. Is anybody else rolling? With 19, looking around, your eyes adjusting from the bright light of the tavern you had been in to the nearly no light, kind of backlit from the waterfall in here. Your eyes adjusting, you start counting who's here. You realize, oh, Zipple's not here. The second thing you notice is nearby the figure of a dwarf in plate mail, just doing this. And you recognize Gundar. Your friend, who you haven't seen in several weeks, was separated from you somewhere in the swamp near the Black Dragon's lair. But just
I'm going to turn
Not
around.
really
I'll turn around and tell all of y'all in a whisper that Gundar is over there and he seems to want us to be quiet.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Lysander, as Crom says, "What?" fairly loudly, you feel the ground underneath you shift, just like just a little bit, as if something was just like disturbed a little bit, and then went back to quiescence. And you realize whatever you're standing on, it is not.
Oh,
So, you said roll perception.
Yes.
Roll a 15.
Okay.
I see it. Then exit.
I mean, you see the waterfall over towards the one end of the cavern, which is a ways off. You can see light coming in there. You guess that's somewhere to the outside. It's a fairly tall waterfall, and as you adjust to and get your bearings a bit, you realize the waterfall is in a circle, almost as if from the surface there's water pouring in from all sides of this hole in the ground. You don't know where the water's going because it's not very deep on the ground here. But it's pouring into the cavern you're in. There. It's more than 100 feet from the surface of the water up to up to where you can see the water coming in. You're not sure how much it extends past that. But you suddenly realize, in seeing this and feeling the shifting, you realize that whatever you're on is not a hill.
Is there anything to grab a hold of on the wall?
There's no wall near you, actually. On the hill next to you, there's something that you took to be, at first, a series of rock formations, and suddenly you realize that these are 8-foot-long spikes that are coming out of the back of whatever beast you are started to climb up. As you kind of get Roland an idea for what's happening here, and you take a few steps back, you see this reptilian beast thing laying down in the water. It's dragon-like but huge head kind of stretching out over to your left. The height of its back going up, laying down, this thing is like 40, 50 feet tall.
I really hope this isn't what I think it is.
But just slumbering here underground. As Crom yelled, it seemed to shift a little bit, and now you can see the whole hill just slowly rise a little bit, slowly falls over the course of 15, 20 seconds each, like very slow breathing. What do y'all want to do?
I asked what?
I tell Crom. I look at Crom.
And I'm going, shh.
I guess I look over at Gundar. I'm just like,
All right.
I guess what do I haven't rolled a perception. I want to know, like looking around, do I see walls of a cave, or like how dark? Is there a light source down here?
I mean, there's light pouring in from around the area of the waterfall,
Okay.
which illuminates everything to semi-darkness. So you could see in it, even that. Well, you have dark vision anyway, but even if
It's
without,
too steepy.
even with without dark vision, you can see kind of a dim light in this room.
Walls.
So would this be dim light?
Yeah.
So I can actually see.
You can see everything.
Okay, so I definitely probably know what this is.
Yes, and you
Okay.
only fell into here maybe 60 seconds before they showed up. You were getting your bearings, realized what was going on, and then suddenly you see
Just
something
when you think you know what's happening.
just appearing out of a portal, just like serendipity.
So can I see the walls of?
Yeah, as your eyes adjust and you get your bearings, you see the walls kind of go into kind of a dome of a rough cavern with stalagmites go down, right? Might touch
No.
the ground.
Stalagmites.
You might trip over them.
Might trip over them. Yes.
Stalactites are tight to the ceiling.
Okay.
You could say that for both.
I know.
That's the problem with all of them. We're gonna say
I might
stalactites.
be wrong, but that's what I drilled in my head.
So you see stalactites in places coming down. In this room, you don't see stalagmites coming up. Just it's kind of shimmering water, disturbed in places by your movement, and of course by the waterfall, and in some places by it looks like trickling streams kind of coming down the walls. It's a very wet place, but it looks natural from the look of it. It doesn't look like it was hewn from the rock or anything.
So
It's fairly warm
I
as well.
we're all like near each other, kind of gathered.
Are you coming to us as
I
quickly
wanna-
as you can off the back of that critter?
Not quickly. Want to just let it feel like everything's normal.
I want to
But
whisper.
there's no wall near me. So.
Whisper,
No wall.
whisper to the group. Our best bet is maybe we should go Is it? How high up is the water?
From what you can see from here, you can't see what's above kind of the inside lip of the waterfall, like where it passes the edge of the cavern. But it's about a little more than 100 feet from the surface of the water up. It could be further up.
Of course, there's a human treasure chest. Oh, that's where the goblins are. Oh, they're really good.
Okay.
I so start swimming. Yes, some of us can fly.
I guess.
You have to do this now. It's water breathing.
But he left
But
before
he
before
decided
sunup.
You could always check to see if that. It did
Oh
before
yeah,
you left.
he did. He did always say that he cast it on us every morning.
Tell
but
you what.
we haven't seen him.
Dunk your head under, try to breathe, see what happens.
I just want to say, I like to say it out loud. This is deja vu.
Deja
Like
vu.
fucking everything they just
Oh
said.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's trippy.
Yeah.
Yes, glitch.
It's in the matrix.
Anyone breathe under?
That stuff is only like 18.
But he's thinking there's an underwater
Yeah, true.
exit.
Yeah.
I mean, all the water that's pouring in is going somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Can you cast like
Obviously, I'm not trying to move very much
a bubble?
because I'm in plate
But
mail.
it's not bubble.
Yes.
I don't know what wizards
I
do.
probably
There is
made
a
a
spell
racket
that-
coming down here.
Like,
It's like
that's why you're
putting
doing it because it
purple bubble
almost
that
it
would
kind of
hold
shifted.
atmosphere
It's-
inside of it.
Can't do that
About
there.
that.
Do can I roll like a nature check or something to see what this is?
Roll
Since
nature
I can
New
see
spell,
it.
the freezing
Roll a
sphere.
nature check.
Freeze everything.
My
You can freeze it.
one of my newest 6
I'm
level
literally
spells is,
trying to be it's not move.
like
I mean, it's taken them a while to kind of whisper between, but this you hadn't
like
gotten far,
ice
so you're able to
kind of
slowly
thing.
get off.
Well,
Yes,
I'm
ice
waiting.
Oh, you're
that
waiting.
I
I'm
can-
waiting
that I can
for them
fire
to
and
get
make a
away
big
from it,
freezing thing
in
that
case
says
I
that it
arouse
freezes,
it. I want to get
all the
them to
water
safety or
in a
closer to
very
safety
low range.
before I risk.
What if we
Disturbing
get
this thing
over to the
You
like,
realize,
over the
looking around, that you
And then
are
you
kind of perched
Or if I freeze the waterfall.
rising slope of this thing's
Hmm.
30-foot long.
You're gonna
Well,
climb it.
okay. Climbing ice would work.
If I could see that,
I get a
Spikes
grappling hook.
As they kind of start to panic, you look back and forth and realize you kind of pick out the shape of what's
feel like they could
I think.
get
Or
away
did I
from
say
us
novice? Extra.
without getting out of the room.
Damn it.
like when Kron
That'd be
yelled and
helpful
moved a
if I
little
had
bit,
skill
but it's obviously like there's very slow breathing and obviously dead asleep.
This would have been a great time for silence.
And you can climb rocks. Climbing ice is difficult. Spike.
You got different
Ice
utilities now.
axe.
Yeah, I'm looking through my utilities and none of them work.
Question, Tim.
Yeah.
Did I get the grappling hook put on my arm?
We can't remember if she,
Ooh.
what she chose, what options she chose for her new arm.
I might have just said, nah.
No, you get the
Crossbow.
crossbow?
Never mind.
You got
I
the crossbow
crossbow.
in it
I
put
need
into
to-
your arm, and then you
Yeah.
got a couple. No, you got a couple walking grenades,
Yeah.
like
That are
little
really
automaton
cute.
grenades.
It looks like little Fabergé eggs. Yeah. And have melodies.
with music boxes inside.
I also need to figure out I think I ended up picking up 2 cantrips from that book or the bookstore.
Did you
and-
get them? Oh, we need to put them. I need to put them in.
Yeah, or like make some item that will give them to me because I have a limited number of cantrips I can learn.
Yeah.
Except with exceptions.
Okay.
But I can't remember which ones they were.
I'm sorry.
I have the
And
list.
somebody
Notebook.
left the notebook at home.
I have the list. I can make sure.
Okay, but-
yeah.
I don't think any of them would be like key to getting out of here.
What did you roll for your name?
15 for nature.
15. You, based on its location, the size of it, the fact that it is dead asleep underground, you have heard of an ancient force of nature that awakens every millennia or so, known of as a Tarrasque.
I knew it.
Uh-huh.
I knew it.
What's that? I don't know.
It's
what
the
that
worst possible
the-
thing in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has the highest challenge rating of any.
Yeah.
It's like a 30.
It's something ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it's retarded.
it's impervious for the most part to most magic, and
Like the only thing stronger than a Tarrasque, I think, is bafflement.
Can I do a?
It's like a god.
Godlike?
It's god level creature.
it's a,
Can I do
force,
it?
it's
How
a
does
literal
that
force of
say?
nature.
Oh yeah, it's described
That.
as like
and then fly.
a
I'm gonna
force of
try to do
nature.
history
It's like
to try to determine
is.
That's my trigger word.
Oh, one of us.
whether I. Well, I guess I
Check
don't
it
know.
out
Never
up on
mind.
top of
No, it's up
the
As
Well,
soon as you
see what's
said
at the top.
Let me do a
large
nature
creature
check.
with spikes, I was like,
You may just go.
Holy
I hope this isn't what I think
I
it
wouldn't
is.
do that.
I got it.
Yeah.
So
13
eventually,
13 for
That's what-
nature.
maybe not in this game, but I'm gonna use it. 13 for nature.
Depending on what
to
happens.
determine whether I know what it is.
I mean, it's well known enough across the multiverse. Like in every prime
I mean, it's-
world, there is one.
I'm gonna do a history check and see when's the last time we get stuff.
Okay. It's going to be a high DC for you because you're not from Exandria. But
Yeah.
you might have heard, because you did
Yeah, that's
live
true.
in Sigil,
There's
you
a lot
might
to-
have heard.
We have a lot to learn from our new companion here. Where you from? Where you from? How'd you get to Sigil? What
A 10.
you been doing?
You have.
Braid your
You have
hair.
what?
I just asked if I could braid his hair.
I think we learned his name.
Oh, did-
You wash your hands.
Lysander,
Oh, that's
Osmandia,
That's
Oh,
a deal. Yeah.
something pretentious and
It helps.
Yes.
It helps
It's a great name.
hold it together.
Ozymandias.
Sticky.
Yep.
fingers.
Yes. Lysander Ozymandias.
Wellington.
Wellington.
I knew it was a W. I wanted to
Yes.
say Warsaw or something.
I like to say back and activate my cloak. And y'all seen what we do in the shadow?
Yes.
Not the show,
I didn't see it.
the movie.
Oh,
The show's
really
pretty
good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think, is there a season? we
there's a
haven't
third
seen?
season we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Can I get up on top of the waterfall?
I mean, it's a ways off. How long did it last? For a minute, I think.
An hour?
An hour. Oh yeah, you could
Mhm.
easily get up to the. You all watch as the cape that Crom has started to wear suddenly turns into these. It looks like almost blue dragon wings. She starts to fly off, and as you head through the curtain of the waterfall, you find yourself in a large 200-foot wide ring of waterfall.
Whoa.
At the top of it, which it passes through a good 50, 60 feet of rock before it gets to the actual surface, this waterfall. There's some rock formations that kind of stick out through the waterfall, like as dry land, kind of. And there's a sunny sky above you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Those two cantrips, by the way, were bees and warp sight,
You can look
which
around
lets you look
corners.
around corners.
Okay, yeah.
Take all of the ropes and tie them together, and you fly them up.
Because, yeah, it's like 100 feet up, and if
Yeah.
we have rope, it's usually in, like, it's like 50 feet.
Yeah,
up.
because we don't have to tie them together, and then we'd have to just climb them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. Though. Well, you've got.
He's probably got
Yeah,
climbing abilities with claws or
that's
something.
true. Yeah.
Can't be that way.
Well, I mean, there's no like there's the waterfall comes through from the sheer roof. Like there's no rock that comes down straight from the waterfall, so it would be
It's
tough
like
to
a
climb
hole
up.
in the land that is,
It would be
I don't know.
Crom holding the end of the rope
Or
while
crom tying
we
it to something.
each, like, climb up one by
Yeah.
one, or however much Crom can.
I mean, depending on what's up at the top, I guess.
You
Yeah.
want to fly to the top? You got it. All right. Flying up to the top, you see two different rock formations that rise out of the water on the edge. One of them has a kind of scraggly looking but fairly old tree growing off at the top of it, and the other is just sheer rock. And then as you clear the top, you realize you're in the midst of what looks like a large lake almost in the midst of a marshland. It stretches as far as you can see in most directions. All directions, really.
I would like to check out that tree.
Okay.
Like, does it look like it's firmly planted in the ground?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
The rest of you, are you just staying in place, or what do we do?
Yes, I mean,
14.
waiting on some intel from Crom,
Mm-hmm.
or
I think I would have gotten out of the water and gotten on that little strip of land very quietly.
At this point, I'm just praying to my deity. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't think I just
Think he
remained
was helping
standing.
carry water.
well, we did see the land start to move.
How-
and-
What? How about the land are you standing on a little strip of land, or are you standing on?
No, I'm in water.
No, you are
okay,
all
I
in
thought-
water. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought there was a beach. Yeah.
No, there is. You
No,
cannot
I'm on
see-
the beach.
The only beach is the creature itself that is in the midst of this, and feeling the water is not cold. It's like pleasantly warm.
Mhm.
Like you can see why it can sleep in it.
What is the
No,
ground?
it's-
What does the ground feel like under the water? Like it didn't move with the.
No, like
Other
it
stuff
it
is-
feels like there's some sediment on the bottom, but it's not like sucking mud or anything. It's firm, kind of sediment, sandish bottom.
So what's your
I
stand?
can just pile up. Like, I can carry stuff, right?
Things been there longer.
Yeah, you could carry people out. It would I mean, it would have your flying speed, but you have an hour of flying, so you could do it.
I guess in the meantime, while we're
Nobody
waiting
here
on,
figured.
while we're waiting on Crom, I would be like very slowly walking around and just feeling around with my feet. You said, I mean, it's probably coming up to my chest or something.
Yeah, it's like up to here. Like you can wade through it, and as you get closer to anywhere closer to the waterfall.
Hey, we're on the back of the giant giraffes. What's up? Yeah.
This better be important.
Yeah.
This close to death.
Yeah, we're real close to death. Are you coming to get far?
It turns out we're all getting new characters.
Okay.
TPK.
Okay.
TPK.
Yeah, the car is out front.
It happens.
I'm fine.
Stick a dagger in it.
I was laughing.
You'll get what you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. But if you need a car, just come get it. Okay. All right. Bye.
So
Thanks.
it gets deeper as I get.
Yeah, as you get closer to the waterfall at the creeper, Crom looking at the tree with a 15, you said?
14.
14? I mean, it looks like it's an ancient looking tree as you get closer to it, and it has some gnarly roots that kind of wrap around and into cracks in the rock formation. It could definitely hold quite a bit of weight if you tied something around it, but it's up to you.
Okay, I'll fly back down. Tell them what's up.
Flies back to the
Tree.
waterfall, lands.
But I'm fairly confident that I could carry you guys one by one up there.
Yeah.
Instead of trusting a wicked tree.
Might be time to part with the metal child.
Just leave
Oh,
him there with the
dang.
grass.
Wait,
Well,
did
we'll bring him up
Zipiel-
last.
Zipiel did not come through.
Did not
I
come.
was to be able to let the metal child go through without.
Well, you saw Zipiel go
Yes,
through the
I was
portal.
the last person to go through the portal.
He did not come out the portal.
Ooh.
I stuck my head in another portal before I came through, and saw the Elysian fields. It was beautiful. I'm probably pretty mopey now.
But I came here instead.
Yeah.
It's
I don't think I'll ever be able to
Correct.
feel true joy.
You see Russell Crowe?
no.
Were you entertained?
There were no. It was just like sparkly, just most beautiful. Anyway,
There's
I'll
this
probably tell you guys
North-
about it later.
There was this North African chanting happening.
Everything was in like crazy CGI slow mo.
So yeah, y'all ready to go up?
All right, one by one. Within the course of maybe 20 minutes, Crom is able to get you all up. I mean, it's not a hard thing. Crom is very strong and has a flying game. So,
Digging me.
however, because it is an ordeal, kind of lifting people out of the water and stuff, could you all make just a group stealth check? So, I'll make a stealth check. Please.
Oh no.
I know, but it's gonna be an average.
Oh no.
Wait, myself?
That was a 2 and a 1. And I have to roll at disadvantage in plate mail, so it's a 1.
Okay.
Everybody else better roll big.
20.
I'll roll for the metal check.
Oh. I hope y'all roll high.
I got an 18.
18, 15.
19.
We're pretty fine. I mean, there is a bit of clanking of plate mail when Crum lifts Gundar from, because even though you're short, you're heavy.
You're
Yeah.
solid.
Like you are a solid dwarf, and you're in plate mail and with like a battle axe. And
You should want my
so Crum's like,
Yeah.
play.
but Crum can also lift like. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey, you're welcome.
and with that,
Thank you.
Crum flying out with that clanking, you hear behind you the shh, a little bit of shifting as you kind of glance over and you see the terrace kind of shift a little bit and kind of flop onto one side, and then you see kind of some bubbles kind of in the water as
I
it
was wondering if we could
breathes out.
even wake up a Tarrasque, or if it's one of those things where it just wakes up over so much time.
I mean, it will.
You want
Really?
you
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to throw rocks at it?
Wouldn't it be, I mean that would make
I'll do it
sense
stick.
that we wake up a Tarrasque.
I mean, it all comes to this. Like, do we want to be the reason why we destroy the whole world? Pretty much.
Or until it eats,
Or at least this portion of the world.
at least this continent.
We just Thanos this fucking.
Fun. So
I mean, if our enemies are here, then we can just wake it up and...
One of the worst weapons to unleash.
but as you all there, you find a spit of dry land near one of the top of one of the waterfalls areas, where one of the rock formations has kind of slopes off into the marshland, where it's dry enough, and you
Marsh.
yeah, and you are just in the midst of the lakes interspersed with marshland, the occasional stand of like cypress trees you see over on one side of the lake. Yeah. Go ahead, somebody, and roll. Gosh. Roll a survival check to see. Who wants to roll a survival check to see if you know where you are?
Do. But it's not my fault if the dice do something weird.
I mean, I would know where we are because I was already...
Oh, you would know
Coming
where
this
you are.
way,
Yes. So Gundar, are you telling everyone?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
as soon as once we get out of the cave and
Yeah.
can speak more freely, I'm like, lots of questions, you guys. Gundar probably is on the top of my list. Where'd you come from?
Well, I was traveling this way and I lost my footing, and the next thing I know, I came face to face with that creature down there. I remember tossing and turning, and then just here I am. Where did y'all come from? The last I saw of y'all were somewhere in the swamp.
Which we're back at. Speaking of which,
I mean,
back in the swamp.
it's swampy here. Yeah.
That's a long story. Most recently, we've been in the City of Doors.
I've been in places as well.
Getting out of the water.
Okay.
Cleaning myself.
I mean, it takes you
Oh
a
yeah,
second.
you kind of like
Hands.
And
Yes.
I do have one question.
My little
Yes.
cantrip.
Whatever happened to my T-Rex?
It got wrecked by the like undead spider construct thing
Oh.
that came out of the jewel.
yeah,
It did
that
distract it.
horrific
It,
Cronenberg monstrosity.
it was made of parts like living undead, living-ish parts of drow that had
Oh.
just constructed this huge.
I will forever remember her.
Yeah, we've been in Diggle, City of Doors, Nexus of the Multiverse.
No big.
Where we met this guy who, still don't know much about you. And Metal Child, where's your papa? Oh, you can talk now, right?
yeah.
I am
Yeah.
shocked by that.
Yeah, like
Oh
you
yeah,
start speaking it in this.
no dog's dog.
Yeah, I I did not know. He is not here, and this makes me very worried.
I
And you
would.
can see, like, as much as the metal falcon above, just kind of is looking about, kind of wringing his metal hand, like.
After I clean myself, I would be like, "Where are we, friends?"
I think that's where we met this guy, and you got like your leg up.
No, I ain't looking, man.
I love it. Yes. So, Gunnar, you would know that you are in the southern reaches of the Glade Pools.
So I'll tell the group that. I'll let them know.
Roland, you know where that is because you've been in this area before. In your past, anyway. The Glade Pools separate the southern reaches of Singhorn Forest from the Morningset countryside to the south. It's a huge marshland with lakes and bogs, and some are saltwater marshes and things like that.
People would love this place.
So I'll tell them that.
Yeah, you remember as a young elf visiting the town of Byroden, which is the largest town in the Morningset countryside. They have a small port. They're fairly far inland on the lakes, but there is a water route out to the ocean through there.
Make a little note of that. Then I'm like, well, what world are we in?
Do you ask that?
Yep.
We're on Exandria.
What rock?
Also, can I like make a mental note of like where we are, like to remember it?
Yes, you can.
Because I want to remember the spot.
It's a good thing to remember, I imagine. Would anybody else like
Put
to?
caution tape around this bitch.
You got some navigational cartography type skills, right?
I'm pretty useful.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I got skills.
Okay. Looking around and seeing, like, it looks like it's maybe a few hours from sundown, like 2 or 3 hours from sundown. To the south, you see this dirty-looking column of smoke rising. And there, it seems like, because you're on the southern edge here, you can see more bits of actual dry land, and you know, having come from kind of the south, not necessarily in this exact direction, but from the south-ish, that there's more dry land to the south. To the north, it gets more lakey and marshy as you go. But
And we ultimately are. What are we doing?
We decided that we were gonna.
We were gonna come back here
Yeah.
save the world
It's like, yeah.
and save the world.
from something.
We were gonna go to the island.
Mhm.
We were
Yes,
gonna
they
try to get to Zipiel's Dream Island,
Yeah.
where
Maybe
the big
he's there.
explosion happened.
Yeah. He might
Is that what we settled on?
That's what we thought
Yeah,
about.
that's what we were
Yeah.
doing.
I don't know.
How will we get there?
I guess we head south to get to dry land.
I mean,
I vote for dry land. If anybody cares.
I guess I could always. Well, we don't have to be scared about going back to the spires.
Seymour.
Seymour? Sorry.
Singor's
Or-
the city.
Yeah.
Spires is
Spires
where.
Yeah, I need more coffee.
They got, they have a bunch of that would.
They're not mad at us.
I think we go there.
Could you draw us a teleporting circle if we can find dry land?
Yeah, I just need, some space. I think I have a couple of. I think I got enough chalks and crystals to do a couple of more jumps.
Are we going back there?
To
Right.
yeah, Spires
What,
Bird.
were we doing that?
Because it's
We know where we are when we go there.
we will know where we are. Is it closer to? I don't have my map skills. You got good map skills. Is it? Is the Sigourn closer to the island, or also there are people in Sigourn who are working towards this goal also, and we're investigating that island and what happened. So they might be able to help us get there.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
And we're gonna get waterlogged if we stay. where
yeah.
we are.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
tired of being in marshes and bogs, and that's just like
Old house.
civilization there that we can.
Not a good place.
Have it on.
Yeah, I got it on my
Drive.
phone.
It's on the, yeah, but I have it like
Oh yeah.
a 3-foot version of it. So what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Gundar?
Oh, I said,
As you are hearing them discuss this, wondering about the smoke you see on the horizon, you catch a whiff of it suddenly. And it strikes a memory for you, just long, the time's long past. It's the smell of charred flesh. Not animal flesh, but like humanoid flesh.
I kind of just like have a 1,000-yard stare right now.
Yeah, because I mean, staying here, I'd say
Yeah.
going towards that smoke would be our only other choice. So I guess we could just go towards that smoke instead.
Well,
What do you guys think?
I think we need to find some dry
I'm
land.
following you guys. I'm kind of new here, and if you guys could at least lead me towards civilization, that would be awesome.
Oh, civilization, that would be Seymour for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a good-
Yes. All right. So what do y'all want to do? Well, actually, and another thing that's Chomp, as you're talking back and forth and kind of looking around, you notice on the edge, near the edge of the waterfall, where you all are sitting, it's something shiny suddenly. Like something just catches the light as you look over and just like.
Okay, I'm gonna, as we kind of discuss or just sort of like think about which direction to go or teleport, I'm kind of kicking around some rocks, and I'll walk over and check out that. Probably after I check out the weird tree, just I'm kind of looking around.
I mean, there's the tree kind of up on the larger part of the rock formation, but along the side, right next to the water, there's kind of some rocks and things. And in the midst of the rocks, it looks like, as you first come up, maybe it's some type of crystal. But down to pick it up, you realize it's a skull about the size of a peach pit that has like little bits of crystal kind of seeming to grow out of it in places. Might be, just guessing, looking at it, you think it could be fairy in origin, maybe, or something like that. But you'd have to go more in depth, though, for sure.
I'll pick it up, and
All right, you're not on your warlock anymore, so you can't do the little birdie.
The birdie weirdness.
No, I have to watch this now.
You got an elf that don't have to sleep.
Elliot. Yeah.
Okay.
still,
It's good.
do I see any other like? Are the crystals growing on any of the other rocks or surfaces around? Doesn't seem to be.
Only on the skull.
Just on this little skull.
Do I see this?
Neo.
You see him bend down and pick something up. As he picks it up, something catches the light, and you can see that it sparkles. You're not sure where, from where you're standing, 10, 15 feet away, you're not sure where it is. It's fairly small.
So I like look on the ground, and if I can get to them without getting too dirty,
Okay.
I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah, I'll probably be like, "What? Check this out.
Just this little skull. It's got,
I bet
A
Gundar.
little skull.
Hey Gundar, you like dead
yeah, it's
stuff?
about the size of a peach.
Skull.
But
Check
is
it out.
So it's like
Skull.
looks like a real skull
you
with
find that?
crystals on it.
It's a
right
real
there.
skull. It looks
On
like
the-
crystals
on the
are
edge of the
growing
water.
out of it. Like small crystals are growing out of it at different angles.
That is totally cool. I'll play you a game of rock, paper, scissors for it.
Rochambeau. Rochambeau.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Then I can.
I'm gonna hang on to this thing. We gotta figure out some
I mean,
stuff
you
about
could
it.
if you want.
I just don't know what.
No,
I mean, it's up to you. You can roll a nature check to see if you know what species it is or the like, or you can do an Arcana check to see if it's magical in origin.
Dude, I'm rolling so good. That was a 4.
in a different app.
Cool. Or is that the total? That's the. I mean, you have no idea. It could be. It's a small variety of humanoid skull. Like it looks like a person's skull shrunken down. Mostly, it's a little bit maybe elongated from the proportions of a human skull. Harrison Ford walks around the corner. Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, guys, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Pick the next one.
Okay.
So
What are y'all doing?
I guess I'll do.
You walking towards the smoke, or we're
I'm gonna-
going right out?
I'm gonna Arcana check on the skull.
Okay.
Because that's probably what I would do. What do I, if I know anything about crystalline skulls and. Yeah, Arcana.
Okay.
Great, but my Arcana is banging, so that's a 18.
18. So, you've heard of some things like this before when different Fey beings have passed away in the material realm, the prime material realm. They sometimes their bones and things will leach out arcane materials and things like that. And it sounds like maybe this was some type of fairy or something like that, or pixie that was for some reason came into this plane and died here. It's real cool looking in any case.
And then, so I would know that, like, their innate magic, their that their dead remains, that these crystals, like their innate magic will sometimes like seep out.
Yeah, we're the
So,
south
like,
end
I'm
on the border.
pretty sure
Yeah.
that these crystals are magically useful.
Yeah, they could be. You'd have to figure out a use for them, but
Yeah.
they have some innate magic in them.
Yes, yes.
Crom, as he's looking at this, you also the wind shifts and you also pick up a sniff of the smoke and think to yourself that smells like
Delicious.
charred pork almost. Yes. I don't know that have you ever do you think Crom would have ever smelled charred human or anything like that? Okay, then you
In a warrior culture.
you're able to kind of at first it's delicious and then you realize still delicious but also people. It's
So, you guys want to go straight to Sigil? I mean, we could teleport to Sigil at any time if we wanted. Singorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Wish we
pick
could
one,
teleport
you
to
go.
Sigil whenever we want.
I gotta figure that one out. Yeah, plane shift spell.
One day. Pretty high. And I think there's also some. There's some that like things go way wrong trying it, and you know, like, so we can hop over to the Spire of Uruk whenever if we wanted to get sidetracked.
Well, Roland would sure like to see that priestess again.
Oh, in Uruk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one he's made such a good impression on so far.
So we said that smell is coming from the north or the
From the
burning?
south. From the wherever the column of this dirty black.
If we stay here, I would assume that's the direction we would go. Everything else, I mean, that's the only point of interest I can see from here.
There's a jungle to the south.
Yes.
But
Some interesting stuff in that jungle.
Pretty faithfuls.
oh, that where we are?
While they're
Is that just
Yes.
off doing that,
It's
how close
firewood.
to that tree?
Iron?
No.
The tree is 30 feet off,
30.
up kind of a steep slope of this that comes out of this rock formation. It's kind of almost to a point, kind of a blunted point where the tree grows out of.
And it's on a rock.
It's on the top of the rock, yeah.
Can I just walk over to the rock then? No, because it'll. Never mind. It'll make.
Yeah.
It'll make too much noise.
I mean, the waterfall itself makes quite a bit of noise. Like, in the cavern, it even was making quite a roar. It was just when Crom yelled, it happened to have overcome that baseline sound level. Okay,
So I'm up for an adventure, or we could just be lazy and just teleport.
what is rolling?
Roland is definitely curious about seeing what the smoke is, and the other half of him just wants to swoop it on that woman again. It's had such great success so far.
We've stopped the well, we stopped the creation of the weapon that we were helping to create there for a while. Like, I guess we could afford some independent exploration
Follow the
obligation.
Well, maybe they need a room too.
So it's
I think he's
a way-
saying that in character.
a ways off, and it's big smoke, so it's not like we know it's not like it's not like a campfire. Like it's a
good sized column of
It's
smoke.
burning
like something
people.
big
What?
is burning
What?
people.
Burning people. I smell burning people.
you can smell that smoke.
Yeah.
It's burning, and you're sure it's burning people.
100% sure.
Yeah, I confirm it.
Oh.
So dinner is almost ready.
Gross.
That's dark even for me.
Gross crumbs. Gross. I don't know much
Nipple's
about
not
your-
here anymore,
I was gonna
so I don't
say.
know who's eating people.
So, if I think it's burning people, I would make curious. That's weird.
I mean, what are the
We're adventurers.
what are the possibilities here? Burning people. There's either some sort of plague, and they're burning the dead to prevent miasma from
Plague is bad.
infecting people, or somebody's got too many dead people that that they know what to do with, and are to burn them for whatever reason, or it's something horrific.
Dinner.
If it's horrific, maybe we should go rescue the survivors.
Like for humanitarian reasons. About how far away does it look?
It's hard because there's not a lot of landmarks
Yeah.
to kind of get a sense of scale. But roll a survival check. See if you could figure it out.
7.
You're not sure. It's not like really far off. Like it's within an easiest march, but you're not sure if it's just 1 or 2 miles or 10 miles.
I mean, let's go check it out. Like I said, at any moment, if I can.
Teleport us later.
Yeah, all I need is a surface to draw on with this chalk.
Side quest.
Okay.
I'm with you, friends.
Yeah, sorry, my dude. We'll have to postpone civilization for a little while, but you'll get a taste of. I guess. Why did you want to leave, Sigil?
Oh, it's boring.
Oh well,
He was a townie.
you came to the right place. By that place, I mean with us. Like we get into some shit.
They were
That is good for my career.
They were going to do a whole book on us. It's a whole.
That'll be
We
better.
we abandoned a
Keep
book
getting
deal.
bigger and bigger.
Books are very boring. Song.
Oh my,
And
sacrilege!
those kind of books.
Boring books are boring.
Better good history. And okay, you read a book. Imagination's great, but you add some pizzazz to it. Whole different story.
Yes, we're marching towards the dead people
Danger.
fire.
Yeah.
The people
I mean, they
fire.
could be alive,
So we're still.
Oh
alive.
no, that's even worse.
Probably not anymore.
We're still in the marsh.
You are right now, but
So I'm like rolling up my pants and
Yeah.
I'm like literally trying to hit every dry spot along the way. Just
winding your way through where you can find, generally going towards the smoke. Before the end of 2 miles, you find yourself on a little bit more firm ground. It's in a direction that wasn't exactly the way you would come, so you're not quite sure what's there, but you eventually all find a little bit of a road, like a track, like it looks like a cart track that just kind of winds through on mostly dry ground through the bottom parts of the marshes here. And it seems to be going in the direction of the smoke, so you start following it.
Yeah.
It gets you going a little faster.
Walking down the middle of the road, wouldn't it be better on the side, like beside the road?
I mean, there's
Up to you.
not like cover. It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're pretty
And-
open.
Okay.
and this is just gonna be like,
Yeah.
Can somebody
I
scout a
dare
bit?
them to come at me. Dare them.
and I've put the skull in my bag, I guess. Hang on to it.
Okay.
The pixies call me Kim Deal.
Oh.
That's what I'm known. I'm known to the pixies as Kim Deal. I say offhandedly as I put it in my bag. One of my many names.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, that's what they call me. I've got many names. I'm known.
But you're in.
I'm not a pixie. I'm a gnome.
Context. So wandering your way down this path, it starts going a little bit straighter, so it's a little bit better time coming up. You eventually come to the outskirts of not a tiny village, but a smallish village. Maybe as many as 100 homes. With some other kind of business buildings, it looks like, and you can see there's smoke rising in wisps from several of the buildings in town as you come near. Roland, you recognize this in talking to Crom from looking at the map as the village of Pendle, which actually isn't on your map, but you know that it exists here. It seems like several of the buildings had lit on fire. There's still a large column of smoke coming from probably what might be the center of the village. Walking through, the smell of just burning people starts to become a little bit overwhelming. It is. Here it is. Some of you, I've smelled this before, but as it gets more and more overwhelming, like the gag reflex comes in. Can everybody make a Constitution saving throw real quick?
Oh, did you
I
have
did.
your con?
Have a plus. That's good. Did I have a plus 7? I got 14.
Con save.
Con save. Not a high DC, but it's a
I
little.
had a 6.
I got 11.
Okay.
21.
And what did you have? 7. So Lysander and Roland, both of you kind of start retching a bit, and a little bit comes up, and it's
And
Like,
then
in the
I
map,
have to
like,
make
this is not
another
something you
con
experienced
saving throw
before.
with that first.
If you throw up, it's gonna make me throw up.
and it just spirals from there. It's interesting because it's not like other war zones that some of you have been in before. Like all of you have probably, except for maybe Lysander, have been in a war zone before, of one type or another. There aren't broken in doors. There aren't dead bodies like laying in places here and there. There's nothing. There's looks like a couple spot fires that started, and there's still a main column of smoke rising.
Are
from
there
them.
any bodies around littered?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Until you come to the village square in the center of town. And you see something that it's hard to explain. You see amongst the buildings, some of them which are half burnt down and still smoking a bit, although looks like recent rains might have put out the fires. Maybe 50 or 60 charred and smoking human-ish figures that all seem to be either sitting or kneeling kind of in a circle around a crudely painted yellow like almost scarecrow that is untouched by the fire. All of them are nearly ash. Some of them are collapsed into ash. Others are still smoking, and they're all still quite a bit smoking. Not currently on fire, but still putting out smoke and ash, and it's disturbing. Like looking at it.
How many humanoid?
50 or 60
Oh.
of humans, like
In the circle?
in kind of a rough circle around this figure in the middle. You would have thought this figure would have caught on fire, but it is entirely untouched.
How
Kind of
big,
scarecrow.
how big is the scarecrow?
But it's regular scarecrow size, humanish size, kind of made up. The main part of the yellow comes from, looks like it's paint that had been splashed over this ragged-looking cloak that somebody had thrown over it.
Yellow King.
Roland,
I'm freaking out, you guys.
you suddenly hear
We found the call.
just kind of a clatter of wood from behind one of the nearby houses.
All right, I am gonna rip around. I can't talk. I'm gonna take my longbow and turn around and have it aimed at where I think the sound is coming from.
Okay, make a perception check real quick, see what you see.
Natural 20
Okay.
and
What's your I mean,
3.
23. Looking out with the longbow, suddenly you see over in a corner, maybe about 40 feet off, behind this small cottage, a face of a young girl peeking out. Soot covered on one side, especially a little bit on the other side, just kind of peeking out. You can see the hands around the corner.
I'm gonna keep the longbow aimed on her, and I'm gonna tell them I see a child behind there, possibly a child. You know that?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna relax the longbow.
Good move.
Okay. Anybody want to go check her out?
It's a creepy kid. Kill it.
Yeah, somebody else.
I
has
think
it.
the new guy should.
I'm gonna ignore her
How about
talk
you
about
guys?
the child, and I'm gonna go closer to the scarecrow thing.
Okay. What do you want to see about it?
Can I do a religion check?
Yes. Go ahead and roll.
By the way, background for my guy. New to Exandria.
Yes.
Has traveled to a few different worlds, but grew up in Sigil and has been there for a minute. He's got bored. So.
Don't know how you get bored of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, he grew up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I knew it was
You
not
guys,
about
I see a lot of shit.
little girl. You guys, check out the little baby.
Waitress,
See what
everyone's
you do. Good talk to
Alexander's
her.
gonna go check out the little girl.
Are you good with kids, Lysander?
He is a giant lion.
But I just kept talking to the food, but stopped.
I mean, you're not scary looking.
And then I threw she into the mix.
Yeah.
You're very well groomed.
Really key.
You got product all over in the mane.
I waved to the little girl.
Bye.
Come on, you're safe.
Okay. Make a persuasion check. What did you get for your
17.
17?
I get down and low, so it's not as intimidating.
The yellow, along with the cloak, matches some of the effigies you had seen
Roll of fucking.
in a certain city recently, in a certain up-and-coming cult in the slums.
So I probably get visibly angry.
Okay. You all see, as Gundar is looking at the scarecrow, he's got kind of a stick in his hand that he picked up from somewhere and just suddenly cracks it.
This is crazy.
What did that stick do to you?
What's you?
One of my traits for the for my class, like if I roll below 10, it's an automatic 10.
Yeah.
With a plus 11. Oh, 21.
Oh my gosh.
I can't get any lower
Persuasion.
than 21.
Oh yeah, you're a
Persuasion.
bard. Yeah.
Big promise. I'm thinking.
Who knows? He's just a big teddy bear lion. Okay, so he kind of peeks out a little bit more and rounds the corner, and you see that her one arm she kind of holds close, and the earth and is burned away, and there's like some red raw burns on her arm, and also up onto her neck. It looks like charred skin. It looks like she had been maybe in the fire somewhere here in town. Like, and she kind of limps over to you and stops about 10 feet away, and you're just kind of shivering, kind of looking up at you. She's no more than maybe 7 years old.
I mean, if it's at you, don't let her come any closer and don't block my shot.
Ask her what happened.
Is she
Um,
evil?
First,
Did she do this to them?
Did she?
Oh my god! I mean, you have some bad experience with a little girl, so
can anybody help the little girl? She's injured.
We don't have any healers.
Are we sure about?
Do
Are
we?
we sure about this one?
the healer got lost in the portal.
Oh,
no,
can
but-
anybody help this child
Yeah, I was about to say like
before we start interrogating?
I
Maybe
can heal her. No, we got lay on my hands.
Can you
You don't have
this
any
child?
healing?
So, yeah, I'm not gonna help the child.
Is anybody?
I-
I mean, she's just standing there, kind of shivering. What do y'all want to?
Like I'm still.
You're staring at. You're not.
I'm angry at.
Ask her what
I'm getting more and more angry as I'm just standing, watching, looking at this effigy.
Although it's not likely, or it's not completely impossible that this child is responsible for this, it is highly improbable.
children of the corn.
Well, ask
So
her what happened.
he's hurt. Maybe she's more likely to give us information if maybe we help her out a little. So I'm gonna try persuasion on him.
Tell us what happened, then we'll help you.
I mean, I just wanted like a
Yeah.
little bit of,
Yeah.
you know,
You might have
for the poor girl.
You might have like a
Little
minor
hurt.
healing potion, maybe.
we have some healing.
I know we have some like real strong healing.
but I'm not
potions.
about to give one to this girl quite yet.
We've been hurt a lot in the past. So
Yeah, we need 'em.
We're a little hesitant.
So Lysandra,
Except for Black
don't block
Dragon,
my
he's
shot. Don't
beholder.
get too soon.
Tiny
So is
little
that something
girl.
I can
Nope.
even do?
Random line dudes. Yeah.
Try to get somebody to do some
Or,
kind of
or a help. Anybody have like a just
I mean, you can do an opposed persuasion.
a good help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stat,
I mean,
medical.
how does it
check?
work? I'm just asking anybody to be able to. So
Oh,
Okay.
Do you have?
She's
do
just
you-
Give her some
watching you
water.
discuss this, like looking back and forth,
I have some
shivering.
water. I could do a medicine check.
I've only got. I got +1 to medicine.
I doubt I
I might.
yeah, I'm not so.
If somebody has a medicine kit,
have. -1.
Somebody has a medicine kit.
So I will. I mean, I am
Herb.
trying to persuade,
Herb.
but I don't know how this works. So
you're trying to
how
persuade.
you want it to
Who are you trying to persuade?
party.
The party.
Yeah, I'm finally
You
trying to
kinda have
help.
to-
I mean, I don't know anybody who has specific healing.
I mean, I guess if you
Yeah,
if
So
you said-
basically, I'm pleading.
well, if you were asking like if someone could help, I think that me or somebody would kind of like say like
Yeah.
Gundar is the only healer we know currently.
I guess I'll try to persuade him.
Gundar, are you even listening to this?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how far away they are or how far I walk to this effigy
I mean,
to
you're
even
probably
know if they're
pretty
talking about it. Like,
preoccupied.
how close am I?
I mean, you are. They're kind of ranged in a little group, a little bit behind you. You went closer to look at this.
What, like 15 feet? Am I?
Yeah, something like that.
So I can still hear them. Okay.
It's not a huge village, so the village square is not real big either.
Yeah.
It's close-ish quarters, but
Chrome will ask.
you're gonna ask the little girl, or who you ask?
Ask him to heal her.
Okay.
I'm still keeping my bow and arrow pointed on.
This is this could potentially help us solve the problem with the cult that we've been trying to solve. So she could have some info.
Oh yeah.
Do you say something about cult? Like
Yeah.
that I.
Mhm.
So I'm now interested,
Mhm.
and I'll heal her if you give me information on this cult.
Okay.
I think the that
Yeah, a little
effigy
bit.
we've heard from a few sources about the
Yellow.
Yellow King or the King in Yellow. It's been referenced a few times from a few places. We believe this is a cult that's been spreading across Exandria. We
I know about it.
You know, yes. I think this is the
Related,
first like.
Would
I
I
guess
have?
we may
would
have
I-
run into a cultist before, but this is our
Yeah, he burned him.
first-hand experience of like some actual
Yeah.
cult activity.
Well,
Yeah, I'm the one that crucified him.
Yeah.
You did in Iman during the siege when you were going through
There were
very
fires.
briefly. There was like a riot going on in part of the city, and there were cultists there.
Yeah.
When I was in that one city,
Yes.
would I have come in contact with any of them? Because I know we didn't go too much into detail about what all I
You
did there.
I would say that out in the slums on the north part of
Because I will say, like,
north
my
of the town.
whole objective of going there was to kind of figure out what was going on and then reestablish order.
Yeah.
Which
Which is
so
tough.
would
Because
that,
there are some people in that city who are high in the worship of your god.
Yeah.
Like higher than you.
yeah.
They didn't seem worried. But you did manage to track down a couple cultists, like very poor. They were slaves actually that were cultists
Okay.
in that city. Yeah. Anyway, what else is going on?
I think we could.
So are you healing her? Or?
If they tell me as much as they know about this cult since I've been gone.
Yeah, we've heard it from. I think we've heard. We've got some references and
Yeah.
information about it, but she'll definitely be able to tell us more.
Yeah,
You know,
about what happened.
because this looks like some like serious cult activity. Like there was some stuff going on. She's seen some things.
Very well. If it'll give me more information, bring me the girl.
I'll put my bow and arrow sort of down.
Yeah.
Not all
Like
the way.
still.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, and so she's not too far. She's maybe 20 feet off, and just kind of holding her burnt arm and kind of staring, just shivering, watching, like eyes watching, but also a little bit like glazed over.
I just put my hand on her head and
Flinches a little bit, but doesn't draw back.
Cast aloe vera.
And you watch as the burns on her arm kind of seem to patch up a little. How many points are you given?
full health.
of
However
full-
much she
I mean, she's a D&D peasant. It doesn't take much.
then
It takes
full
like
health.
7 points.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if you're coming for the lay on hands well, or
Yeah, lay on hands.
okay,
I've got like
you got a bunch.
I think I've got 50.
Yeah, so it takes like 7 points for her,
Yeah.
and she's still burned, and there's still like some scarring there, but she kind of takes a little bit of a deeper breath, and her eyes are suddenly a little bit clearer. She moves her head around a little bit more.
I'm sure we offer her some water from our water skin or something, or I
Okay.
would. I'll see what else.
She still hasn't said anything. She just kind of takes the water skin. And she
What's your name, child?
kind of looks at you. Doesn't say anything.
Oh,
She's probably deaf mute and you just healed her.
possibly a language barrier also.
Well, people speak common down here.
Oh,
as far
yeah.
as you know.
Yeah.
He's human, right?
Yeah, we are just
Yeah.
in Exandria in a small town. I'm sure there's common. Yeah,
Looking at her as you get a closer look, because she's dirty and there's still soot like around, but as you get a closer look, her ears have a slight peak. She's a half elf, it looks like, probably. Like not as long as Roland's ears, which are like sweet back and up. But
How tall is she in relation
Yeah,
to
you
me?
want to like maybe speak to her in Elven? Maybe
She's
that would
right.
help.
She's slightly shorter.
Yeah.
But
And put up
say
a-
something nice.
Nice. Be
Well,
nice.
Yeah, more than slightly, like 6
Maybe
inches
not gonna
shorter.
take a long whirl off of her that I'm pointing at her the
I,
whole time.
I'm still probably the closest one to her, right?
Well, Chomp is gnome size, so he's actually a little bit shorter.
No, I'm saying in
Oh, close, because you
Close.
just healed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, as you just healing her, they're handing her the water and talking to her. You're still right there. Yeah.
All right, I'll speak to her in half elven. I mean, in all elven. I'll speak
In
in
Elven?
half
Okay.
elven.
Full oven.
Yeah. I'll say what happened to her.
She looks over as you say this and kind of blinks, and then she says in Elven, voices in my head. The voices just sat there burning.
Sue came from nowhere.
And she points at the yellow, like, effigy figure that's in the midst of the burned bodies.
And did he come in person or did he just come in
He
effigy?
was here. Went south.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Just 5 days. And she just starts bawling and kind of falls to her knees.
I didn't say anything to her mean.
What did you say to her? Well,
Nothing.
And then she falls to her knees and is sobbing and slowly stops sobbing, and then her breath is slower and slower. You can see she just kind of slumps forward and stops breathing.
You wasted those healing points.
I mean, I got a solution
Somebody
for that.
CPR them.
What?
Don't make her a zombie.
Well, there's other things besides. But,
What'd she say?
That he came 5 days ago and went south, and that the voices in her head were very loud.
She said he was here in person.
Yes. Anyway,
So I vehemently wanna like
And so,
head south. Like we need to go after this.
can we resuscitate her? And
Forget about the girl.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
I'm gonna
CPR?
make an attempt.
What's CPR?
do you have the ability? Yeah, go for it. See if
To at least diagnose.
Do what I can. The little girl
Yeah, you guys.
burned and seen
I mean, I
fucking shit.
lay on hand her. Whatever
Yeah, she's got full
whatever killed her was
HP.
not
she
from
doesn't anymore.
was not physical.
I still have to try.
Yeah. What did you get on your medicine check?
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm just saying like
Not
whatever killed her was
modified
not
20.
physical.
Modified 20, like a dirty 20.
Yes, that's what you want.
Dude,
That's
I
how we're
like,
gonna call it.
I like that terminology.
Yeah.
As opposed to a
Not like
natural
a clean
20, a
20.
dirty
It's a
20.
dirty 20.
That's pretty good.
So checking in on her and just trying to figure out it's odd. Her entire body and hands, as you kind of bring up a hand and kind of go like this because you've seen it in plays and things. Her hand is cold. And there's like, and trying to get a pulse or anything, there's nothing.
I guess she's beyond even a restoration spell at this point. She dead. She dead? She dead?
I mean, she dead.
I think
What
her-
do you think? Yeah.
I'm fairly sure she no longer has a soul.
I mean, if you want to make a religion check, let's see.
I mean, I can.
See if you can perceive that. You are a paladin, so you have experience with these matters.
Pick up her foot and put it to your ear. Nope, she
Anyone
didn't have a
else?
soul.
Don't hear
She
the
didn't have a
yoga.
soul.
Oh, man.
21.
21. Just from the manner in which it
Oh, I didn't
happened,
even.
the little bits you've learned about the cult and seen some things in your past as well.
I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of what you. Like she was barely something
No,
took her.
seriously.
Yeah.
Is what is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then we're the ones who made it. Not
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Okay.
It means I missed the joke. Okay, sorry. You're having
Okay.
a side conversation.
Yeah.
Um,
What do y'all want to do?
So does she have a soul? Would you?
No, she no longer has a soul. Something took her soul.
Yes. Scarecrow over there.
Just what the scarecrow
As you
represents.
all look to the
How are
yellow
you lying?
scarecrow, it's almost like its crudely painted eyes are staring at you.
Oh God!
That's a scarecrow.
Wasn't that thing facing the other way earlier?
So, since
And the Tin Man.
You don't.
And I think
Yeah.
this little girl.
Wait, wouldn't I be the Tin Man? I'm in plate now.
Well, the Tin Man is
Would
the
be
metal
the
tile.
Tin Man would
is
definitely be
sitting
metal
over
tile.
here.
well, if it's gonna stare at us, I'd like to take my arrow, bow an arrow, and just shoot an arrow into its eye.
I'm gonna step away from.
Easy enough. You do. Are you doing it in like igniting the arrow, like with the
No,
burning,
no,
or
just like a, you know.
you do it? It just into the head, and the head of the scarecrow kind of goes back like this. The arrow sticking exactly out of the center of the eye.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Nothing seems to happen.
Wicked shot.
Thank you.
I ask, is there, But you said that had no soul.
Her soul's been taken.
Does
It's all right, dude.
Yeah, I was about to
Anyway.
say, she's an adult.
to help this child? Like, is this
Kill what took her soul.
You could try to perform some kind of religious rite if you wanted of passing or burial. You know some things that you could do. I mean, there's not a lot of worship of deities in Sigil, but
there's not much we can't do right now?
I believe the great and powerful Oz
like
could
it.
bring her back.
The child it dead. Right?
okay.
It's not just like
Well,
catatonic.
she's in it.
The wizard?
Technically, she'd be more catatonic
Oh, she's-
because,
She's cold and she is. There's no pulse.
like,
She is
her
gone.
body is perfectly fine.
Yes.
Because I had just healed it.
Yeah.
But
But there's no life.
yes, so her soul has been pretty much like just snatched from her.
Okay.
She's
So
excited.
So theoretically, as long as the soul has not been destroyed or devoured, the soul could be returned to the body, and possibly under religious rites, she could be revived because the body is perfectly fine
Although we have to consider,
if the body is preserved.
I turn to you.
Yeah.
Like we've investigated.
yes,
Circle now.
As you're saying this, the metal child walks over, kind of rubs his hand together, and you hear this kind of whining, rising sound in his glow. And he puts his hand onto the girl's kind of front, and goes. You see the body go like this, but nothing happens.
middle child. What?
So we told you all that we know. What do you know about this? How does what could have happened here? Like based on what you know about the cult. Do you know about the cult?
So
Yeah,
maybe we can discuss
I
this
know-
in civilization.
I know.
It's a
I
complicated.
know where the cult is based out of. What is that a fair assessment?
Key West.
Well, it's. I mean, the cult is happening all across Exandria, it seems like, but there is a large concentration of it seeming to spring up there, and it seems much stronger there. Yes.
So this is it's kind of giving away a lot of stuff about my character, but
Yeah, you don't need to.
I'm starting to realize that this cult is becoming a much bigger threat than keeping my secret.
That seems to be
So
pretty major. Yeah. If your secret would have to be pretty big. World destruction.
well, they have a large presence in the Iron Authority.
The Iron Authority being.
The Empire of the Hobgoblins in the southern part of the Taldori continent.
Yep. I remember.
We just let those hobgoblins alone.
Yeah, there was the.
We were like,
They backed
Nah.
up, didn't they? They backed
There were
off.
some naval things going on with them, and yeah, they're
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
yeah.
But there seems to be a large gathering of these cultists in the Iron Authority, and
Secretly, like
becoming more publicly. They're not really hiding it.
we also, I think we have reason to believe that these cultists also caused the
Boom.
big boom on
Whatever
the
that was.
island. There was some flash and a shock wave and a mushroom cloud, and maybe they were trying to
No?
bring. Was that the cultists?
I
There was
mean,
some cultists.
You
were-
remember that cultists were trying to get passage in Karnak when you were after the Blue Dragon. They were trying to get passage out to a mysterious island.
Yeah.
And there was an argument at the docks about it. And it was maybe a week after that the large arcane explosion happened.
And there was, because we know there was some group, or there was some faction that was working towards doing something out on that island, bringing a deity to the world, or
I don't know.
releasing something, and then there was a
I don't know
weapon
how
to
much
try to
stuff
kill.
we were wrong about.
Yeah.
Roland, you are struck suddenly with a little bit of a memory in that y'all have had a bunch of run-ins with hobgoblins over the course of your adventures.
Yeah.
And different organizations shipping either slaves or magical items to the Iron Authority into the Sound.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. So
as part of like the of going way back,
Yeah.
Master Shen's takeover of both
yeah,
the clasp and the myriad.
Wow.
That was
That
what was
is
going
way
on.
back.
that is.
It's years ago.
So y'all gonna
Like 6 months ago in game time, but still
Yeah.
like 3 years ago. And
Lots has happened since then.
all of a sudden a little light bulb goes off over. Y'all see Roland's eyes brighten a little, and I say, "Hey, this could be all tied together. Remember Master Shin? Remember the magical items
I
that we
still didn't understand what was happening. Still don't.
Well, it's
there was a
were being brainstorming."
yeah, they've been shipping slaves and
Yeah.
magical items.
to the Iron Authority.
y'all ran into a bunch of hobgoblins at Singwarn doing a deal at like midnight at one point.
Yeah. God, that
There was the green dragon you fought that was.
Green
If
when did
we
we fight a green dragon?
You fought a green dragon south in the forest south of Singwarn at one point.
That was like
That
was like one of the first
was-
dragons, right?
Yeah.
When it died, it got sucked into some kind of portal almost and was saying weird things when it got sucked in.
I have no memory of that.
Wow. Yeah. I
Uh,
think we had no context for that at the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
There's all
now
this
suddenly
weird TV
it's
stuff.
starting to make more sense.
And remember the dragon eggs that got stolen?
That we had
That we were supposed to be.
possession for a
Yeah, we
minute?
were supposed to be. Yeah.
Which, side note, there's the black
Now we
dragon.
have dragons again?
No, we have no dragon
Do
egg.
what?
Oh,
No, we have no dragon egg.
do
you
what?
have
In
a
our possession?
half black
No.
dragon egg with
Yeah.
you.
Wait,
Do what?
Yes, it's in my bag of holding.
is it possession?
No.
It's in the bag of holding.
Do you? Am I
No,
holding
I
the dragon egg?
misremembered. I misremembered.
It's half
Crom's
black
very
dragon
confused
and
about all of this.
No, and I'm
And
I'm
half
pointing towards him and
Medusa.
like.
Crom doesn't know.
This
I
place
don't
doesn't
know.
seem very fun.
I forgot.
How long are we hanging?
I don't know.
It
I-
stinks here. I threw up in my mouth and I need to do something about
Well, you wanted adventure.
it.
Mhm.
Blah, blah.
Yeah, but this.
Not without
Adventures
throwing up
of
into my
dirty.
mouth.
These are
Yeah.
dirty people.
Where are y'all going? You portaling back or you
So-
following south?
we could go south.
The
and-
road goes south.
and follow, presumably the Yellow King went south after he left here. Isn't that what we?
Yeah.
heard?
That's what you have
Yeah.
gathered.
I am gonna.
But like really far south, right?
Yeah. Before we
He's
go
got
down,
5 days ahead of
But
us.
it's
You're
she
I'm
said
gonna
5
put Crom
days.
off to one side and go.
You're
"Kill
not
the
sure
black dragon
how
egg,
reliable
and
she is.
Gundar will try to
But-
kill the black dragon egg, which will make the black dragon very mad. So that, no, we do not have a black dragon
Oh,
egg.
yeah,
It's in
yeah.
the bag. Oh,
Okay. Yes.
yes, no egg, no
I
egg.
don't know where. Yep.
Yeah.
What egg? Nothing.
So
I don't
it
know.
seems in our
only
best
half
interest to
black
find
dragon.
more information
That's
about
true. Then
these
technically, I can
cultists.
skirt by
Yeah.
on that.
It's also half Medusa.
And
So technically, I can skirt by on it.
I've already told you where to find a very large gathering of them, And-
south.
which yes happens to be in
Just about
towards
everywhere.
the south,
South.
where the
Avoiding south.
where this Yellow King is going to.
And now that you mention it, our original plan to go find this island had some pretty thin motivation behind it.
Yeah.
It was.
Zico had a dream about it.
Yeah.
If you still want to go to this island,
I mean,
I can secure us passage to this island from the Iron Authority.
the going to the island thing was sort of a just.
I'm just gonna look at you and
to
know that
check
you
it
said
out.
that.
We
And
didn't
look at
really
you in the
have-
back.
Yeah, because some context here, you saying that, like, the rest of you know the Iron Authority
It's not our
was
friends.
recently besieging Iman and
Mhm.
was a large army that was fleeing south very quickly, even as
Yeah.
recent as when you were in Karnath with the Blue Dragon.
So you're in good with the Iron Authority.
I can promise your safety.
I'm looking at you really, really nasty eyed because I'm thinking about how you tried to put my Minotaur.
Oh, I didn't try.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
succeeded.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this and I'm putting this all together and I'm getting really, really annoyed that you're back.
We can all just put the past behind us.
Oh,
and,
no.
Some
Yeah,
of
that
us
was my
maybe
friend.
should.
That was
Yeah, that was the guy who basically raised me.
I didn't kill him.
And
And I didn't
I don't know if I ever
mind
told y'all about that. I can't remember. I don't think I did.
I mean,
No, you did.
He just owes a
Yeah.
life debt to me.
Yeah,
Saved his life.
you did restore him. Yes,
He could be dead right now.
true. But that might be better than a life debt. So I'm just kind of
Everything worked out.
Do you guys need to like wrestle it out or hug it out?
Yeah, what are we doing?
We are not hugging it out.
I don't
I
know.
feel like going to the island seems like this we just figured out what the
I
island
feel
would
like
have
we're
just
avoiding
led us
going
to.
south for a long time.
Well, yes, of course, because south had all of the bad things, and
Yeah.
every time we were given the choice to go south where the bad things were happening or somewhere else, we went somewhere else.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm gonna pull Will from the side, but he can guarantee us safe passage with the Iron Authority. Sometimes we've had lots of trouble with the Iron Authority. Just wondering, if he is an upstanding moral character.
Well, also the
I don't
Iron
think-
Authority
I don't think
has
that's true.
the Iron Authority has been going through a lot of changes recently.
Uh-huh.
So its current, it's being more and more controlled by this cult, or
Yes.
there's so
So if it's being more controlled by this cult, and he says he's against the cult, but he's in with the Iron Authority, can we trust him?
well, yeah, he's against the cult because the cult's taken over the Iron Authority that he's in good with, so he wants to preserve the Iron Authority. I think it's a good thing. Because our classic strategy, we work from within. We infiltrate,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that has worked
Yes.
out so well.
Yeah,
So you go
the
face
big
hugger
law.
on him. Lay an egg and just burst out in the chest.
Yes,
Yeah.
we go in as allies, and then we deconstruct the criminal organization inside.
Uh-huh.
Step 3, profit. I think we did that with the.
What was step 2 again? Never mind. Anyway, what are you doing right now?
The step 2 apparently is just do a bunch of favors for the criminal
Do what's
organization.
And then duck.
Do some morally gray crap.
So, yeah, I'd say.
Tell me
I mean,
what to
you
do.
know what big cities are like. Sigorn is not much different than any other large city you've been to. It's got stuff. There's things. This is where the adventure is.
The capital of the Iron Authority is Sarm, which is the second biggest city on
Yeah.
the entire continent.
We have not even been there.
Good thing I have.
So if we went to the teleport place, further away or closer?
It's further
Further
away. It's north of here by a good ways.
But then there's a lot of allies with lots of power.
We have allies with power there. There's also a lot of other teleportation circles there.
Do you have?
And
I guess,
also, we're
south?
kind of a big deal there. We're sort of the heroes.
Do you have a way to transport south, or is that just we're going to be going?
No, I do not know any teleportation
I mean,
circles south of here.
Do we know for sure that there is maybe a teleportation circle to?
In the Towers of Uruk? No, we don't know what kind of travel.
So it'd be easier to just head
But
there
I would
from
say
here.
no, because they were trying to.
They are enemies. They
Yeah,
don't
they're
have-
enemies. I don't
Yeah.
think they got a permanent teleportation circle going on.
I mean, it's up to you. You can go south right now, or you can portal out.
Yeah.
Show of hands. Who's going?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going south.
South, yeah, I guess, yeah, south is probably.
Sounds good to
Mhm.
me.
I kind of clean up the little girl some.
Oh.
Easy enough. The earth here is not hard. It's fairly soft and squishy. It's on this edge of the marsh here.
I'm gonna watch him do this, and in a slightly judgy way, be watching. No, just watching for are you doing this on a like religious basis? Are you doing any religious rituals, or are you just like
Sad face.
dignity of like human or humanity or
Living creature.
I don't want her. Pretty much why.
this one's got a big heart.
The biggest.
No courage though.
Come on now.
What about brains?
My brains ain't so great, but they ain't so bad.
Charisma.
All right, heading south. So,
Yeah.
Oh.
Heading south.
Oh,
So while we're heading south, I start like working on little things
Yes.
and crafting some stuff.
Okay. I won't make you elaborate on that anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm not hiding it. I'm
Okay.
actively just like making like what
I'm
seems,
interested.
What seems to be like 4 things.
Hey, what you working on there?
What'll keep you alive in the Iron Authority?
Cool. I'm a tinkerer as well. I've got a lighter.
So
Get my bag of tools.
you have to, like, by the time you decide all this, the sun is going down.
Yeah.
You can go through the night and walk if you want, or you can kind of camp out. There is like kind of a common house here that hadn't burned down that you could camp out in,
Yeah,
William's tiny hut.
or Lehman's tiny hut.
I could, but I mean, it looks like there's I would say
There could be
plenty
more
of
space.
houses, but like
Everyone's
it
dead.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
dead. We could
I
just
don't
pick.
think we should stay here.
I mean,
Yeah, I concur.
Yellow
Things do not come. to
Yellow King is
large
left.
bodies
I
of
mean,
dead.
I mean, there's still like 50 or 60 odd charred bodies around
Might
an
remind
effigy.
you-
of
slightly
King.
disconcerting
I'm
view.
sleepy.
Just
I want.
I'm sleepy.
I'd recommend at
Oh,
least a couple of hundred
stay
yards
there.
away from the bodies.
We could leave the city
So,
and set up camp.
If not leaving the
Yeah, I'm
city,
fine, yeah.
go to the very edge of it. Like find one that's on the outskirts, because I'm very certain that we do not want to be near a bunch of dead bodies.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about the window view from that common house over there. Overlooking this horrific scene. So
it is in the
yeah, I'd
in the square here.
What else is South Roland? Do you know? Is there another
I
city?
mean, we could.
Yeah,
we could
I was just
I'd say we
asking
go to
here.
the south side of the
I think
city
there's that one.
and just like a
that's
little quiet.
Yeah.
Roland, you know that a couple days distant, Byron, and the main city of
Yeah.
the Morningside countryside is like 2 days away. There's a couple, maybe 1 or 2 other villages on the way.
Well, seeing as how we're getting to like, a quarter till anti-peak. I mean, sundown. Sorry. And we could get to. I'm trying to get my sea legs. We could go south to like the south side of town, and
it's so ordinary, it's jarring now.
yeah, I'm just like, peak anti-peak just became.
Mm-hmm.
Noon and midnight. I mean, it is a little bit. You were there for a while, and so you were used to the kind of weird rising of the ground up to you at all times. And now to see this horizon, especially in the marsh, that is all flat, with very few trees in every
Eyes
direction,
keep
it's just
crossing. I'm like,
it's dizzying almost.
It would be like
I was about to say, you're probably pretty.
You were born and
disoriented.
raised in Seoul, so it's like, oh my god, it's just flatness.
well, I guess I've traveled other worlds.
Well, but it's not the you.
Martian
It's not where
hurt.
Every day.
I can't imagine a character being 12 level and just be hanging out.
For sure.
Plus, I need.
But
Yeah, look.
So,
camping outside the town for the night in the dome.
Yeah, we go to sort of a nice quiet part of the south side of town or just on the outskirts, and I set up Liam's tiny hut. We get our bedrolls out.
Who's taking first watch?
I'll take middle.
Yeah, okay. Who wants to stay first though?
I'm just tired.
I'll take first because I'm gonna keep working on
Your stuff,
my things.
your crafts. Okay.
Well, why does it just? Oh yeah, he's not.
So make a perception check for first watch. Make a perception watch for second watch. And let's do a third watch too. Who wants to take third watch?
16 plus 6, 22.
Make a perception. 22.
15.
15. What do you got?
Lysander will never volunteer. He's beautiful. So just
13.
Okay. With yours, the early part of the night, it's fairly uneventful. Occasionally, you hear some splash in the marsh or something like that. But nobody. That's on the road. Second watch. Also fairly uneventful. Yeah. The whole night really goes uneventful. Nothing really going on. And eerily silent. Like a few insects chirping and things like that over the course of the night. It's spring now in Exandria. And you're at a fairly southern latitude, and so it's warm.
By the way, Lysander's totally in silk pajamas. And his mane is in a hair.
I bet it is.
Hairnet.
A bonnet. It's called
He
bonnet.
oils it beforehand.
No, the hairnet.
It's a bonnet. I like to imagine it as a bonnet. A little husky.
It can be both. But as the sun comes up, I mean, Roland, you're out of your what's the word? Trance. That's a good word. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the word.
Yeah.
And you watch the sun come up as everybody else a little later comes to consciousness, and the dome finally, after 8 hours, comes off. You hear the buzzing of insects and a few different birds calling in the morning light. You have the day ahead of you.
So I'm gonna pass out these little sigils. And that's what's on them.
Doesn't middle child get one?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need one.
He's an automaton. He's basically not human. So
So basically, it's just like this, like circular token that just has basically that painted on the side.
It's like a backstage pass.
Skyrim.
I don't know. You want to make a check on it?
Oh, I have.
Red, but it was like a red.
What is this?
Oh, yeah.
What is this for?
You remember that?
It's a. I'm trying to.
I mean, it is not the best known
Yeah,
Don't
I
make
know.
friends.
symbol
Huh?
of your
Secrets don't make
religion.
friends.
So you might be able to. Yeah.
All you need to know is that it'll ensure your safety while we're in the Iron Authority.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Do we
I
like
drop it.
keep it on a lanyard around our neck, or like
Just keep it on your person.
Are they gonna scan it?
like do we need to so we can just like show it?
Eat it?
If you get questioned, just show it.
Cool.
But I'm pretty sure I'm probably known by now in the Iron Authority.
you know,
So
it's irregular because of who you are and
Yeah, that
what
I'm-
you are,
yeah.
but you're known. There's not a lot of, and you're well known because there's not a lot of people that aren't, because there aren't authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway,
So as long as you stay with me, you should be safe. But if you get separated, just present that.
you do have a ways to go before you get to the Iron Authority
Mhm.
too. Like you have the entire Morningset countryside, which is a week's,
Yeah.
well, yeah, about a week's journey through.
But we're getting closer to that territory.
And then the Rivenmus
You might get a mount.
jungle,
Mm.
which is a whole
Get
other
you
thing.
mount?
Because the elven tribes that are within, as well as the other
That's not been bad. Can we mount you?
like
Oh, me.
cities that are
I am a bard.
I was switching.
the first day.
He's into it.
The first day moving through, about a half day through, you come to another small village. This one's called Fernswort, and it seems to be a thriving, great village.
Everyone's not dead.
Nobody's on fire, or was on fire. Everybody's going about their business. Would anybody like to do anything in Fernswort before we go on to the next?
I mean,
I'll ask.
you want to see? Let's ask about like what
the
happened.
The Yellow King is wandered.
Yeah, like, let's ask him if
Do
they
we
know
know what
anything
the
about.
other king looks like?
Wait, we should have scared so long.
So
Yellow.
The only thing you know the effigy, which was just cloaked in a tattered cloak that was painted badly yellow. You also know from some of the dreams you've had, just this image of a figure in dirty yellow robes, and you can never see the face, but it's ominous and threatening.
We could ask if they
I think we
know
should-
anything about like what happened.
Yeah, I
in the
think we should
city.
go to a tavern. Good luck in taverns.
can I look for like a stables?
You mean you get lucky in tavern?
No.
So in Fernswort,
Do every time.
that's going to be one and the same.
Say what?
That's going to be one and the same in Fernswort, the tavern and the stables.
Okay.
There's a small tavern with a small stable that'll accommodate maybe 5-6 horses.
Do they have like a horse market?
Not really, but there's a few people with horses in town. You might be able to buy horses if you wanted to. It's not a huge. It's maybe about the same size as Pendle was, the last village you went through. Not very big.
So that's probably gonna be my mission. Like I'm gonna start wandering around town trying to buy some horses.
Or like riding horses.
So you would need
Or
I'm with
with the
Roland.
party as well
Let's
as
drink.
the
Well,
We
metal
see
child.
shit.
my
Yeah.
objective was to get 2 horses and like a wagon or a cart.
Okay.
Hey.
But for future reference, I also have the mounted combatant feat.
I have to
So
tell you
I was
about
wanting to
this
get
war
a.
Some type of
Some
other
type.
mount.
Yeah, I doubt I'm gonna find a war horse in this little town.
Well,
but
somebody in this group once owned a war horse that got left in a certain town way to the north.
Yep.
Chip. I should chipped it.
Yeah.
Should
It
put a
could
fob
still be
on it.
there.
Put tracking fob.
Yep.
It's probably still there. You just got to make your way there.
If it's still there, it's dead.
Somebody
Oh,
might
yes.
take care of it.
Make an investigation roll.
Mounted combatant. Pretty cool.
especially as a dwarf.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
there's
imagine Gundar like riding
cool
around.
stuff.
Also,
There's some cool stuff you can do on a mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It reminds me of
pretty
the Lord
okay.
of the Rings.
my guy
Yeah.
doesn't really have any gold in his spirit in its equipment because I don't know how much, but I would imagine it'd be more than starting, but I don't know how much.
Is there anything you think you want
Been to-
moving through? Because he wasn't necessarily really prepared.
Um,
All right. What roll?
Investigation.
Think.
What?
Fun.
What did you say it was? Dirty
Like-
20? Yeah, dirty 20.
Mm.
16
Yeah.
plus.
I didn't do
I
that.
like it. All right, we're gonna make it a thing. A dirty 20. You can find 3 horses for sale in this town, as well as a little cart that would accommodate everything you need.
Okay. I
It's
try
gonna-
and haggle the prices.
I mean, per horse, it's gonna be about 40 gold.
Would have been a good job.
The cart is gonna be another 10 gold. It's not a nice cart, but it's serviceable. The wheels work and they're oiled.
Can I throw in a couple more gold and tell him to like put some cushioning in it and maybe some straw?
With fabricate. Maybe.
I mean, you could, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
yours.
So
And
150 gold plus a couple extra for something.
yeah, so I hand it over. I hand him half and I tell him, you know, here's half to get them all ready tonight, and in the morning I'll give you the other half when we are ready to depart.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything else in
We're
Farnsworth?
gonna I think when we're drinking, we're gonna ask about. We're gonna be asking.
To the
In
tavern.
the tavern.
And, yeah.
As you're in the stable is kind of haggling. They're in the tavern. What are you asking in the tavern?
We're asking. Well, first off, we're drinking.
Where's the party
Multi-
at?
Yeah, but we're gonna be asking them. We just came from Pendle. Does anybody here know anything about it? What was y'all's idea of Pendle? Did you like them? Did you think they were really funny because like they all worship some Sun King?
I mean, there's
you know.
there's a halfling in there that's more than willing. Is a couple drinks in already and is willing to talk
Mm.
Yeah, we're
as much
just
as you want.
oh good. We're just
They have not heard of the Yellow King. They also don't like a Pendle. That's it's a way bit of shite over there. We don't like those people. We don't get out there much.
You should see it.
Why
Those
don't you like
Northerners, they're not. You gotta understand. It kind of goes on like that.
And
Well,
we're gonna be.
they're all dead, so I hope you're happy.
You haven't heard what happened in Pendle?
we
Are you
have-
here? Did you go?
Yeah, I came with you. Yes.
Yeah.
The last I don't. Did anything happen in Pendle?
Yeah, something did happen.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Was it the army that got them? The hobgoblins. They were through a bit east of here. They went through maybe 2 weeks ago. Did you hear about that?
No. Please tell us more.
Big army. They're going south as fast as can be.
Check it out.
Lysander's gonna do a little song
But about 2 weeks.
that I wrote about the
Came
child,
2 weeks ago.
about what
Yeah.
happened.
Probably see
Normally,
Okay.
To do more
cult activity
upbeat stuff, but this is kind of somber.
A tragedy kind of.
Yeah,
to
Make a performance check.
but I wanted to
Back
immortalize
days,
the poor child.
Well, actually,
Okay.
A performance check?
Yes.
Year or two, so
Yeah.
yeah, it took a week before.
So I guess I come into the tavern as well.
Okay.
I'm just getting food and drink.
They're outfitting your stuff. They should be ready the next morning.
30.
Holy crap. You have composed in your 1 day walk a
I have everybody crying.
masterpiece that they will sing for generations in the city of Fernswort, or the village of Fernswort.
Toss a coin to your metal child.
Basically. And the middle child the whole
we
time
came
is
here
just
on
kind
open
of
mic night.
has been strange, well, not strangely, but very silent.
Maybe we should start a band.
Actually, that would be a great adventuring party.
But the
Everybody a bard of some kind.
the entire tavern at one point, 20 or 30 people in there are rapt with their attention on you for the 15 minutes it takes you to do this song. And they're all sobbing by the end. Just as you end, that's all any of you can hear is like the silent crying of every townsperson in this tavern. Some of you even are like brought to tears by the story
This guy's good.
of
I have
this,
something in my eye.
Probably not crying. You're crying.
because you remember the child that had died, of course. So you even have this connection there. And
My version of kind of like a mic drop after I'm finished. Let it be silent for a while. I ordered a drink. Nice stiff drink.
they have those.
Yeah.
Is there anything anybody else would like to do in Fernsworth for the night?
Maybe I'll challenge the
Questions
halfling
or-
to a dice game.
We probably need more answers, I guess.
Yeah. If he's a really drunk little halfling,
Well,
yeah, I'll challenge him to a dice game.
Promise.
The Iron Authority was
Roll a
Any
d6.
questions?
so the Iron Authority passed by east of here 2 weeks ago, going south, which means they would have passed
Right.
through.
Do I get
How much did you bet?
10 silver?
That's a gold piece.
Yeah.
Basically. You lose some pieces, and they are drunkenly very happy. Just like
I'm rich.
and just rake it in as they're just sloppily. As they're-
Uh-huh.
We either still have it with us.
No, we do
Or-
not. We definitely do not.
Well, then we left it with
What do you have with you?
the the spires of Uruk.
I don't know what you.
Our big crystal.
Oh, that
the-
that was left with
extra power.
Uzu, who has
Yeah.
now disappeared,
Oh,
but it was
dear.
still it's with the spires of
It,
Uruk.
it was
Okay,
in
they
spires
still
of
have
Uruk.
it.
Yeah,
They
it
have
was-
confiscated everything that was in his study.
Uh-oh.
So the crystal that amplifies everything to an ungodly amount, yeah, that's with the and
I
the
think that's
Arcana
the best
Pantata.
part.
Hunger
Yeah.
Dar.
I should have.
There's a chance it'll make you go crazy.
It's a chance it'll make you have an aneurysm that'll make your brain leak out your nose.
Yup. But it was I saw everything.
I mean, you saw the bonds between atoms, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I cast like I don't know, some type of like locate creature, somewhere I could see something, and it was great.
Foreshadowing. Anyway,
So.
anything anybody else wants to do? Questions? Anything else for the night? Roland just lost a gold piece in a gambling game.
So this town is about
It's slightly bigger than Pendle was, the burned village you went through.
yes.
Not much bigger, but you know from talking that the next town you're going to come to is the big one, Byron, which is like 8,000 or 9,000 people. It's an
Let's
actual like
There.
city.
We should get there. So you got a little bit of info from that guy?
Yeah, you got my gold one. They didn't like
The
Endor
other town.
and the Hobgoblins, but I think you were there for
They
that
came
too.
through.
2 weeks ago.
Right. So
Yeah.
if they came through 2 weeks ago, that would put them going through the Pendle area, possibly, because they didn't go through this town, right? They passed by
Nice.
east of here.
From what you've read, from what you've asked people, you haven't heard anything about that.
So
Okay.
theoretically, feasibly, they could have passed through or near Pendle 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and then a week ago is when everybody got burnt.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That little kid.
Because we've been traveling for like 2 days,
When
and
they
the kid
said
said
for
5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this guy saying
Okay.
2 weeks ago. So a week after they passed near Pendle, at least, Pendle went crazy and burned themselves. Doing this thing.
What are exactly the questions you're asking? Specifically, I'm wondering.
Mm.
Because it matters.
I'm speculating,
That's not a question.
which always leads to very.
I guess we started off asking them if they heard anything unusual about Pendle and what were their.
And they had not heard anything about Pendle
Yeah.
before you came.
And what did they think about the people in Pendle? Were,
They
do
think
not-
they're
What
No.
do they think about the color yellow? How do you feel about yellow?
Oh, I guess we could just straight up ask somebody like,
yeah.
"You heard about the Elf King?"
Mm-hmm.
so there's some interesting responses when you get into that. At first, there's people who say, I have no idea. But as the night goes on, you ask a few more times as people are a few more drinks in. You get some responses of, I had a dream about that last week. Just, I mean, nothing really serious, but guy, he was in the yellow robe, and he seemed to be coming for me, and then I woke up.
Weird. That I should ask about that just now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong
You
with
had
you?
that dream too. I had
I'm not the one asking questions about my dreams. Are you some kind of wizard?
Actually, maybe you've heard of.
Don't.
No, I
Don't
haven't,
even.
I haven't heard of any wizards. I couldn't
I
name one
am
to tell you
tough.
the truth.
Yeah.
You wanker.
I
It's
throw
true.
like a ham bone.
The
There's a couple
something
dogs in
telling
the room that
us
immediately.
I mean, I threw it at whoever just called him a.
Several dogs in the room that come over to it immediately.
I
But-
am a wizard, actually, and I could.
See, look, he just made that bone appear.
Did you look in your bag
Make a
today?
deception check.
In your bag.
Oh, yeah, that's a fail.
What'd you get?
It's 6 plus 8.
8. They all kind of look over at you as you say that and just take a drink of their ale and go back to ignoring you. Back. And they
Rear
trail
back
off.
with another
They
handball.
trail off and they're not paying attention to you.
Oh, I do have some. I do, but
What
I
happened?
kind of I
He
was
wants to look in his bag.
I was tempted to flex my, this guy asking if I'm a wizard. I was tempted
overdue.
to flex my
As
wizard.
fireball?
Yeah, just like do something
Nuke
really
the whole.
really fucking wizard.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, it's a lively enough tavern. There's 20, 25 people in it, which for a village this size is pretty good.
How big is the tavern?
Oh gosh. No.
Not much bigger than Pendle. Like no
We
more
stay here
than
overnight.
maybe 100 or so homes.
We're staying here overnight.
If he doesn't burn it
It's
to the ground.
it's already after sundown at
Okay.
this point. Like
I mean, this room couldn't possibly be bigger. Like
rooms at this
30.
Oh god.
the rooms at this tavern. Because there's a second level to it. There's not many rooms, but they go for 1 silver apiece. This is not an expensive. This is an out of the way place. Doesn't get a whole lot of traffic. You're gonna
No reason.
fireball.
No,
Kill
I don't
everyone.
even think I know Fireball.
I was gonna say
I'm a
kill
wizard
everyone
who
in this
doesn't
room.
know Fireball. No, when this guy asked
Fucking the trade.
if I'm some kind of wizard, I was going to
Dancing lights.
Major illusion would probably be a good one.
my new spell.
You know, I didn't think of something that I could have done while y'all were making questions.
You do seeming.
I could have done Zone of
That's a
Truth.
good one. And it lasts.
Yeah, and just
it
saved us a couple drinks.
freaks
Yeah.
people out.
Yeah,
And
Well,
like
even
this
drunk
is a
people
small town. We're
might not
going to
tell
the
you
next town.
true.
Kind of missing.
Are we staying here tonight?
Yes, I already said that.
It's cheap to stay here.
Unless you burn the place down around us.
I'm pretty sure I can probably get rooms on for free for everything I just bought.
Probably. You get it comped with
Yeah.
with the horses you just bought. Because horses are expensive. A room for the night in a village like this, not expensive. There's just not a lot of horses in this town.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just tired of walking.
But you bought them through like the stables that is attached to the tavern.
Like
So as you come in, you let everybody know, we got rooms comped, and you have food, drinks, rooms for the night.
Did he earn any silver or gold pieces when he sang? Did anybody like throw coins at him?
There were a couple, yeah. You got,
I would probably like.
I mean, it was a lot of copper and silver, but you got all together about 6 silver, 1 gold from just because you sang like just some choice stuff. You're a good part. Because you had what, a 31?
30.
30?
I was 1 point away from max I could get.
That's like, it was like, people are going to talk about this in Fernsworth
Totally
Or-
changed their life.
for the next generation. They're going to talk about,
You just
Remember
turned
that
that
bar that
song
come
into a
through?
folk
The
like,
one hit wonder that just like blew up for
Do
the
you
next
know-
decade.
the Ballad of Pendle. Do you know it?
Catchy as
They're gonna try to
That's
reproduce
not the
it.
title.
And there were several people in the room that were like, you could see them like forming chords with their hands for their moods as they were like watching you.
transcribing.
Oh my
Big
god!
pigs.
I would hope that like it's more
Just like
about
writing
lyrics.
furiously on, and writing down your lyrics furiously, trying to remember them, and like it was happening. That's what I'm saying. Like you give it a couple of years, they're gonna be singing this and sing more. But you don't know that because you're not from Exandria. In any case, you have a room for the night. Another night down. Continuing on, you all going south still?
Yeah.
Yeah, heading towards that
Environment's better.
by Ranch District.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, continuing on the next day to Byroden, through the marshes and swamps. It's a little bit of an not as oppressive as the swamps around the Black Dragon's Lair, but still, like it is humid here, and coming into spring here at a more southern latitude than you're used to, it is warm. The mosquitoes are already out, and you are slapping them away. Occasionally on this road, as you're going south towards Byroden, which is a fairly large trading center, you start passing more people actually on the road. You notice that, I mean, even in Fernswort, you had noticed that everybody carries a weapon with them. This is not like Singorn or Iman, where it's a metropolitan place with walls and this robust economy where even in the worst of times, it's going to do okay. This is a place where people survive by what they have and their wits, and you see you see on at least everybody a club or a dagger. Some people have short swords. People have short bows on their backs as they're coming back and forth between you. Sometimes a trading party with some wagons will pass you as you're not going too fast, but within about another day, near not too near sundown, but in the afternoon, you come to finally, as Roland describes it, the city of Byroden, which is this beautiful city of a good size. At this point, probably almost 10,000 people, which is a good sized city for Exandria. On the shores of this large lake that, Roland, you know from maps as well as experience, extends into some different channels and things that eventually go out to the sea. Not too far from where Karnath is.
Okay.
And
yeah.
which is why you're familiar with it, because there has been some trading between them, between the cities, and you know. I mean, it's still a frontier town. Everybody else is still going about armed, as opposed to other large cities you've been in. This is not part of a country. This is a city-state that is itself. It does not have an overarching army. It has its local militia, and that's it. You know, whatever comes through attacking or raiding, they have to deal with themselves. And so everyone is, part of the militia. And when called up, they go out to it. So everybody looks a little bit more dangerous. But it's a cheery day out as you arrive, close to maybe 5-6 p.m. I guess the equivalent. And there's some larger buildings in this town, many taverns, things like that. But you eventually find one that you're familiar with.
I imagine I'd go straight to one of the most nastiest run down.
Oh yeah, it's called the Hungry Goat.
Yeah.
You know this place? It's not the worst place in town.
Yeah.
But it's rowdy. As you walk in, people there's talk going on. There's a fight going on in one corner between two guys, and there's a crowd of people around them betting on them and things like that. Although as you come in, even though it's a cheery day outside, like it's sunny, it's warm, it's even a little bit too warm for the season, even with spring. And everybody should be pretty happy. Everybody seems a little bit sallow-eyed and just they give as you as newcomers, as you come in, they just give you this look like, which is a little bit different than your experience before with Byron.
I do it back at them.
And they just they give you this look.
I'm gonna.
Nobody challenged you though. It's fun.
Yeah.
I just smile bigger.
I'm gonna go to the bar, get an ale, and go join the people betting on the fight so I can get some information.
So as you come up, the barkeep,
Plus, I want to vote.
a human who introduces herself as Franlin, comes up and says, yes, an ale. We can do that. You're new in town. I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see some new people in town. We haven't had many lately.
Why not?
Just, trade has been a little, she gets this weird look on her face.
Mm-hmm.
But says, odd. And everybody else in the room, you can tell just looking around, everybody else in the room is looking at their own business, but is also keeping an eye on you
Yeah.
or your group.
Well, I'm going to take my ale and go join the group betting on the fight.
They all immediately, as you come up, just look at you with extreme suspicion.
And I am going to pull out a gold. Now, what are the two fighters like?
Looking in, there's a human, fairly looks like he works out. Built, just looks like he's probably a boxer. And then the other side, there is a dwarf. Also looks not necessarily a traditional fighter, but looks like probably a soldier of some type.
I'm gonna say I've got a gold on the dwarf.
Okay.
Smart bet.
With a gold coming through like that takes some notice even in this larger town. And they all they give you this look of appraisal, but also of, again, suspicion. Everyone around you, other than your party, tends to look at you in this room with suspicion.
But I've been here before.
You have. It
All
seems
right.
a little odd. Based on what you've seen before, things seem off. Like everything seems just slightly 5 degrees askew.
So I'm going to turn to the man. Not going to turn. I'm just going to look at him and say, "I've been here before. I do not. I do not see anyone I recognize."
No,
Yeah.
not at the moment.
And then
I mean, you can make a perception check to see
yeah, I
a little
will.
bit, just to see really who you see.
All right. No one I know. That's 12.
Okay. 1 second here. With a 12, you don't see anybody you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're all in this common room, which this place didn't even have like a sign on the outside to tell you what this place was called. It's just this random tavern in Byrodon.
The Hungry Goat has changed since I was here last. I think the name is something goat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that to
Yeah.
the man next to
I
me.
mean, it is called the Hungry Goat, but there was no sign out. You know it was called the Hungry Goat, but nobody else
Yeah.
necessarily knew that, unless you told them.
I don't know if I did, but I'm just saying, yes, the Hungry Goat has changed since I was here last to the man next, or the humanoid next to me.
And they just give you this look, like sideways, and don't say anything. And you can see on their eyes look like there's some bags under their eyes, and they just look oddly tired.
Like they haven't been sleeping well because
I
of
know those-
nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another performance, but not the same one. This time I'm gonna try to do like a cheer everybody up.
Or lullaby.
So on funny song,
Yeah, funny song.
make a performance check. Let's see.
Right.
Is it gonna be another 30?
It should be, well, I think as sour as these people are, it's not a great audience for this. So I guess that these seats, not that it matters.
It's
There's
pretty
no
high. It
content.
is a sour audience. Like you can tell, nobody's in a great mood.
Not as high. $28.
Oh, I just decided to DC. So with that, even with the sallow-eyed, like not in a great mood around you people, there's several people near you who, as you finish this song, like laugh and throw you gather say 2 gold, 5 silver pieces worth of coin in your flyer case.
Still looking at the fight, which is going on. Once again, I'm going to say to the man next to me without looking at him, what has changed?
They just look at you and just frown and shake their head.
So then I'll say something in thieves' camp and say what, and say, what should I know?
Nobody around you, even like a couple people look over at you like with this weird,
Mm-hmm.
like, what are you talking about look. Nobody around you looks at you with any kind of recognition. Except for,
Mm-hmm.
strangely, about 30 feet off, Lysander.
I was gonna say I would understand.
Oh.
Just this look of, just kind of, as you start in Thieves' Cant, just kind of turns towards you and looks. And that's all you catch.
Universal across the plains. You know?
It is, actually. Yeah, just like common is. Like with some small variations and regional dialects. But yeah.
So do you think thieves' cant's like?
It's common, but it has different.
It's like Pig Latin.
It's like Pig Latin. It's
I always
spoken in common,
imagined
but
it
takes
being more
forever.
like code.
It is.
Yeah,
It
because
takes-
you want to be able to do it with people around you.
Yeah,
You could say, like,
it
hey,
is very wordy.
Do you have
Ocean's 11.
I would say you catch about 60% of what he's saying.
Like Ocean's 11.
Like not totally, but
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I recognize what's going on. And you give this just quick look before you catch yourself of recognition.
And I noticed that. Oh, I know
Perception check just
Yeah.
to see if you do. You have a pretty high,
My perception's like 3. Oh,
I mean, but your passive perception's not
19, so 22.
Yeah, you recognize real quick. Lysander seems to just give this quick look of recognition. Getting more chips.
How's the fight going? Is the dwarf winning?
Go through. It takes a while. This is not an easy fight. But unfortunately, the human was fighting the dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually gets the upper hand, no pun intended. And eventually, it takes a bit, but wins, and you lose your money.
Worth it to find out that there's very little information to be gained in this tavern.
Yes. This entire time, though, not too far off, the barkeep, Franlin,
Yeah.
is watching you intently as you're asking questions and things like that. Also, with this look of just as everyone else, to some degree, is looking at the newcomers in the room, your party, just
Yeah.
like with this look of trepidation and kind of looking at each other and looking back. And everyone, as you start looking, looks a little bit tired, as if they haven't gotten enough sleep.
How do we feel?
And you feel fine. You got a good night's sleep the night before.
So we're not starting to look tired.
You are not. You are doing pretty good. It's just everyone in this room seems fairly tired and
How about Friendly?
stressed out. Just not friendly.
No, Friendly. Is she beginning to look tired and peaked around the edges?
I mean, she's a barkeep. She's trying to keep up a facade of
Yeah.
She's on
friendliness,
cocaine.
but there's
Yeah.
definitely like this hardness of behind the eyes of like tired and not sure what to think about y'all.
Have I noticed that she's listening to me intently too?
I mean, she's watching.
So I'm gonna go back to the bar, order a round of ale for all my friends, and look at her and say in Thieves' Cant, do you know something I need to know?
As you say this kind of gibberish to her, she just looks at you like,
Uh-huh.
gives you kind of a cockeyed look, just like, doesn't seem to understand, but then just kind of pushes on and says, "Not sure what you mean, but we can really use the business around here. I know it seems busy, but many visitors rent rooms and all that recently. It's been hard." As she says this, several locals from around kind of are watching her, just like giving her hard looks.
All
I'm
right.
not sure what exactly it means, but just like these looks like, what are you talking about?
So,
Also, at this point, you all have the 3 horses, and you got that in the last village, so
yeah.
you managed to come across with that.
So I'm gonna give friend a god awfully big tip, and I'm gonna make sure that they all see me give it to her.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing right now?
I'm grabbing like a pail of water. I'm gonna go over to the dwarf who I probably imagine is probably knocked out, and I'm gonna splash it on him, wake him up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start speaking to him in dwarf.
Okay. He understands you.
Basically, just asking what's been going on around the city, asking about any odd occurrences. Start there, I guess.
Make a persuasion check. Because immediately, even after waking up and seeing you're a dwarf,
Well, I mean, I don't immediately start questioning. I like
but you wake him up.
wake him up, bring
But
him over to a table.
He
sit him down.
recognizes you, and as you bring him over to a table and you're trying to cajole him, he gives you this look like he doesn't trust you.
It's 10.
Okay. He just keeps, as you're asking questions, he just gives like one-word answers, mostly kind of ambivalent.
I just shake my head and I nod over to the tavern keep, raise up to.
Okay.
Maybe
Before
we'll
too-
try this the more
Some servers
amicable way.
come over fairly quickly with a couple of ales. They're cheap, like 4, 5 copper.
Yeah, just toss them to the
All
server.
right. Even with another ale in them, just seems very cagey. For that matter, everywhere else around you seems to be watching you.
So I just drop any pretense with him,
Mhm.
and I straight up ask him, "What do you know about the man in yellow, or the king in yellow, whatever?" And I just tell him, "I know y'all are having nightmares about a yellow robed figure."
Be like, "It's a king."
As you say that, and especially as you say the word yellow, you see his face almost freeze, the muscles freeze, and just continue to stare at you. He refuses to say anything to you, but obviously you hit on something.
You're brainwashed.
But refuses to say anything to you. And the most you can get from it is that his eyes start darting to other locals around the room. As the afternoon kind of has worn on towards sundown here, like everyone in the room seems to start just being a little bit more jumpy. And it's just constantly you all can tell without even a perception check. Every local in the room, and there's quite a few of them, is kind of doing their thing, but everyone is occasionally just side-eyeing one of you. It's
so
strange and disconcerting.
I'm probably getting annoyed by him not answering me. So I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness on him.
Whoa, God.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Make
charm
it
him.
quickly.
I kind of just shrug and I shake my head and then I cast Crown of Madness.
Okay.
That's a wisdom save.
It is 14. I don't think that saves.
Like, very
What's your D? What's your
Save
worried.
DC 14.
Oh, so if it meets, it beats.
Yeah.
So, just watching you as you cast, like he seems strained for a second, and just his eye kind of like squints and just looks at you and just. And you almost see the crown start to form over the head, and then it kind of dissipates. Yeah. It immediately just walks away from you. Everyone else, as they see this happen, because they have been watching, everybody near you, like part of the room just goes silent near you. Other parts of the room, as are near the rest of you, as you're kind of spread out, are also watching you. Several people just walk out of the room, and you can see out the windows. It's almost sundown. Who has a high passive perception?
I think I might.
Roland, what's your passive perception?
Oh no.
13.
That's 15.
I've got 10.
Okay. Roland, looking around. There is one figure off in the corner of this tavern that, I guess in Chomp, you also see this. Chomp, Roland, you all see this. Kind of at slightly different times. Looking over to the side. A figure that just starts twitching in the, like sitting alone at a table in the corner of the tavern. Just like starts like violently every once in a while, like every few seconds, just twitching. And the closer you get to sundown, the more they seem to twitch. And at one point, they like their hand goes out and like knocks the ale off the table, and everybody else just kind of backs away a little bit and doesn't do anything.
Do I notice it when it knocks the thing off?
When it knocks the thing off, you do notice it, and you see it start to happen.
I'm eyeing the rest of the party, and like, I guess you two who notice it also kind of like catch you guys' eyes, like, kind of like, you guys do this, right?
Before that happened,
Mhm.
I was gonna start speaking in a different language, the third one,
It's healthy, right? It's got fruit in it. So.
and see what happens.
Speaking in that language,
Yeah, me too. I'm really hungry. Thank you.
some people around you give you this odd like frown. Nobody seems to understand what you're saying though. But as you watch this go on, you see that this kind of everyone around you starts to get this kind of wild-eyed look in their eyes. Like even the barkeep, just this panicked look
Oh no.
Okay.
of
So,
just like they look back and forth between each other, and the more they look back and forth, the more they panic. You can see outside of the windows, the sun finally drops below the horizon, and the figure in the corner it just launches itself at the nearest person, which is none of you, but just starts attacking, and they start just fighting, and everybody else in the room just drops silent suddenly. And there's a beat. And then everyone starts attacking everyone else around them.
Fun.
Doug, shit.
I'm not even going to try to roll for initiative for this because it's way too confusing. There's like 60 people in this room almost. Just know that people are attacking you from all around. What are you doing?
Swing in. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
I'm not.
I'm
And
going.
they're just regular, like,
Probably my
peasant
dagger.
level.
Commoner.
So,
Yeah.
commoner level. So.
I don't know if it does
Rolling.
anything. You might need to read the spell, but I'm going to try to cast Calm Emotions.
Yeah. Let's start with my daggers, and then I get a little bit of it.
I'm going to cast it regardless, but you know.
Should have just underwaved.
Put your bright sleep. Do you have the sleep spell?
No.
All right.
Start rolling. Just
Or I guess we could just try to leave.
Where do you get to?
I got to roll about 60 times.
And
for
when
this
have we
second.
ever? I think we don't lose ourselves.
What's
Yeah.
your failure is?
What'd you do?
Mm-hmm.
made for this situation.
4.
Yeah, didn't know if
Everybody
it
chill.
coming into play, but
5.
No.
There's a lot of people in the room. Give me a second.
yeah, there's got to be a better way to do that.
No, that's about it. 6. Okay. You attempt to express strong emotions from a group of people, each humanoid in a 20-foot radius. I mean, I can tell you they can all make that charisma saving throw. It's not going to stop them from what they're doing. So you cast calm emotions, you feel it spread out amongst the people within 20-foot radius, and it has no effect. Like, whatever's happening is not emotional, it's just suddenly everyone local
Well,
that's outside of your group turns into just a bestial.
well, it says it causes target suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. I don't know if that's what's
Yep.
happening. So
Nope.
Okay.
They seem almost to be transformed. Like, their hands just, like, curl, and you can see, like, claws start to almost grow out of their fingers.
Oh.
Like, it's an enchantment. Like, physically.
Worth a try.
And they start to attack you. Everybody... Oh, gosh, I don't even know how to do this. Within reach of you, there's probably 4 or 5 for each of you. And they're all trying to attack you. Start rolling some attack rolls, because there's not even an initiative to this. There's too many people.
You're right.
So we're going to do this just by round. Roll an attack roll and tell me what you get, and we're going to see what happens. Because, I mean, they're still attacking at, like, a commoner level.
You want us to roll both of our attacks? Or just one at a
And
time?
whatever you would do for a regular attack, like a round, you can. I mean, if you want to cast a spell, whatever you would do for a regular round of action.
Well,
Tell me what you want to do.
it kind of matters.
Okay.
But we're not rolling initiative, but I have +8 to my initiative. And I'm going to do something similar, only this time I'm going to cast Fear.
Okay.
Whenever the hell I can do
I mean, you have +8. You have the highest initiative of anybody here, so let's just automatically. So let's go with it.
that. It says each creature in a 30-foot cone. So I'm going to.
What's
Try
your
to
DC?
Wisdom 15. So as many people as I can get in and out.
13. All right.
Preferably as many people as I can get.
How
while
big?
Also, it's a 30-foot cone.
So you're over near the bar. You can get a lot of people in this room. And what is it? And it's
While fighting by this spell, the creature must take a dash action and move away from you by the safest available route.
what is the
On
spell?
each of its
exactly?
turns. It's fear. Until there is nowhere to move. So I would try to position myself in a way that I get as many as possible, but actually give them a doorway to get the hell out.
I mean, they're just basic commoners. They don't have a high anything. So
Start rolling.
like just 20 of them just immediately like shrink back from you and
Then they gotta run away.
yeah, and they start just running towards the wall even. Like they seem almost devoid of intelligence. Like they don't even try to go for a door or anything. They just run up. Some of them run up to just a wall and continue to try to just push through and keep banging against the wall. It's real strange. What's
How
the
many
next?
attack rolls do we do?
How many you got in a round?
Oh.
2?
3.
3? Go for it. Because there's people around you just going at it. Like they're just immediately trying to attack each other and you. It's just chaos and there's blood flying already. Like bodily fluids just like across the walls.
Cool.
So as you come up with what you want to do, just tell me.
My God, it's a purge town. Guys, it's a purge town. We gotta get out of here.
I always thought I've never watched any of those movies. But I think
either.
the idea of allowing those allow no rules, let people do stuff, I think is a good thing. Because then you expose all the people that you want to fuck up later on.
If you survive.
Well, they're obviously a pity person, so
Get rid of the weak ones and the messed up ones at the same time.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the movies, but I mean, I
Yeah.
understand the concept, and I like the Rick and Morty thing where they are on a purge planet. Like, Morty, it's a purge planet. This is awesome.
Well, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm just going to go to the center of the room
Mhm.
and channel divinity dreadful aspect. Every creature within 30 feet of me.
It's afeared.
Right. Let me click on it, make sure. Frightened.
Yeah, so they can't.
So they cannot come closer to me.
Yeah, for a minute. Yeah, so they're not going to come closer to you. And the group, I mean, you're a little bit dispersed, but you're close enough to each other.
But I can start like hurting them now, right? Because they,
Yes.
if I move closer to them, they have to back away.
Right.
So I'm just gonna start like funneling them.
Okay. You can just move towards them and funnel some of them. And you've feared a bunch already, and they're just trying to run out. Some of them have run out the door. Already there's fewer people in the room. Who wants to go next?
I'll rage.
Okay.
And
I'm looking for them as well. Like I'm
clear
not
some
like
out.
trying to clear them for their safety. I'm trying to get them off of our people.
Okay. I mean, and they are just by the fear in general. Like, 'cause this is not a huge number.
Yeah.
It's
I
about this
imagine
size, in fact.
I imagine anything he didn't fear is now frightened by me.
Look, it's like this group is in the middle of the room or something.
Yeah.
A 5.
I got a 23.
And it's a packed room, and so people are streaming out the door. People are running into the walls. People are fighting each other. You got a 23 for your first hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I mean,
That's just-
pretty much. If you have 3 hits per round, you said
You fucking take their head off.
these are commoners.
Yeah.
Unless you roll a negative, unless you roll a 1, you're pretty much good.
Or
I would say just take 3 attack rolls.
okay.
See what you roll.
Heads fly.
Just
And you call me the evil one.
says if they're out of line of sight, they can make it.
And so as some of them run outside, you don't necessarily see anybody return in the door, but they might be, because it's like these two-way swing doors, like saloon doors that go out to the street. It's possible to bar them. There's a slot for them to bar, and they are floor to ceiling, but they kind of swing both ways. And so as some people run out them, the room starts to clear a little bit. What do you got for some damages?
17 on the first one,
Oh gosh.
and
There's some dead commoners.
Uh-huh.
yeah, I imagine Crom against a couple of commoners
Split
was
in
just
two.
like just misting
13
into
for
a
the
mist
second
of
one.
blood.
I would say even just for each, like just
yeah.
you're probably hitting more than one. Just like blood goes flying.
Oh,
the ones near you
I
are just
don't
like
know what's happening.
just heads just mist. And there are fewer people there. Roland, what are you doing?
Roland did well. It was
What do you got?
for his first attack, 29 damage. We have.
Yeah. So overall,
Look at that.
is it with the rapier?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, because of the way we're doing things and the fact that it's a horde and we're not doing an initiative,
Yeah.
it's kind of dispersed. So 29 damage
Yeah, my first one.
between the commoners in the room.
Uh,
Yeah, you're just like rapier just flicking back and forth,
Yeah.
necks just spouting blood, and people just like a dozen people go down.
And I just yell out,
around rolling. Just
I'm the bad guy?
I'm gonna look at you and I'm
Just
gonna
like
catch your eye real
blood.
fast and grin.
a half dozen people go down around Roland or around Chomp or around Crom. Chomp, what are you doing?
They were coming at us.
Um,
Run forward.
Play dead. Play dead.
Oh, you think about that for a second. You use the rest. When do you need me? Wait a minute. Okay, get a little bit.
You say you need to leave at 7:30? Don't be in at 7. Yeah.
Yeah, but we are in a situation, so he wants to know
Yeah.
whether we
Yeah.
can finish.
Okay, I was just like, I'm hungry.
Because it always
I
sucks
can
to
feed my
leave in the
dog.
middle of combat.
Yeah, it does. But I was like,
Because you know how D&D is.
I mean,
yeah, and I just got confused. I'm like, I thought we ended at 7, but maybe we ended at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've ended at a lot of different
Well, I
times
guess I could-
recently.
If I wanted to be really evil, yeah, I could just jump in and thunderwave.
Well, so I was
I thought
thinking
to me,
because they're all
people
commoners,
could-
if I had something that could do some like big area of effect damage that will hit all of you,
Yeah.
but
Do not a lot of damage.
not cast it at like a super high level or something to where it will be enough to take out the commoners, but just do
Don't you have sleep spell?
no.
Seriously.
Attack, and I'm thinking-
I thought I was the bad guy.
Yeah,
And y'all are just murking some commoners.
Well, actually, my first thought
That
was
30 seconds ago weren't bothering us.
33.
actually my
Yeah.
very first thought was I was going to well first as like a pre-action or something, yell out to you guys, get the fuck out, and then I was just gonna polymorph into something and run out. Just like polymorph into a bear and just push my way through.
I
Wondering
guess
if I
we
was doing
should
it
probably
right.
just
Yeah.
leave.
Cause like what like
I was thinking about trying to get him out
And
of
I thought,
prison.
like, my roll's much better now.
Like,
because
I just want out of
remember,
this.
yeah,
That's
that's
true.
true.
I just
Yeah,
start
there would be advantage
bonking
to that,
heads
but
with
I'm
my
just
quarter
like,
It's
staff.
like doing math
I'm
along
not-
the hard way without a calculator.
stupid
Like,
great
you
with
should
it.
know
Going
how to
Master
do it
Roshi on
without
it.
But and some, I mean, what is
Long
it?
division.
I don't have a lot
Ugh.
of
Original
Oh,
Goku
man.
with the bow staff.
St. Joe's. in the
There was a spell I was looking at
had
and I was gonna
become
get
de
called,
facto
like,
math tutor.
Steel
I
Wind
went
Strike
back all
or
through high
something,
school and college,
and
and suddenly I'm
just
tutoring
like
I'm like,
Good.
no.
five or six
Okay.
enemies or
Just sit there with
something,
my
and just like
jeans
sit
and my
across
Google
and you
with my
hit
back
all of them,
pocket,
Yeah.
so I can
and
tell
then
them
appear
what
at a
to
spot next to the light.
What do you think the answer is?
Like,
And
zip it.
I know the
Okay,
answer.
Tom, what are you doing?
The other day, this little third grader leaned over and she said, "And the numerator goes on top of the
I
denominator, on top of the dominator."
The dominator.
And-
Dominatrix.
Yeah.
That's what you want, though.
Uh-huh.
Why not?
I mean, I guess
Don't
I
have the
will
wrong
go with
conversation.
my original idea.
So,
I am going to. I'm going to start by. I mean, I guess it's pretty loud in here.
at the moment, it's very loud. Yeah.
What are you doing?
You two still have rings of communication on?
No.
No.
I think we do. I
Yeah,
think
we
ours
do.
up.
I
I think
I
me
got-
and you are the only ones that have rings of
I got
communication. at this
Yeah.
point.
because I needed it.
Remember that later. I'm gonna take that off and use those right now.
It reminds me, I watched a thing that was like things that happened in the Critical Role like thing,
Yes.
and they said that this one incident was when Marisha took too long to make a decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can do a countdown.
No, I'm gonna polymorph into like a brown bear and well, I guess before I did that, I was gonna yell out to like the party, like, guys, let's get out of here. But I feel like that's just gonna be yelling into the void.
Well, it's also
Yeah.
going to be
Company.
self-explanatory that when a giant bear shows up, I mean, I'm not sticking around.
If I see people leaving the building, I'm
Or fog cloud. That was my next idea, but
Then we can't.
that nobody would just be able to see.
I mean, the party has already killed about half the commoners in this room.
Yeah, we could just finish it.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's happening out on the street, but in the room,
Barricade the doors.
like, there are dead bodies everywhere.
So I will So, like, how many commoners are left in there? Like
15,
15?
20.
Is Metal Child going ham on them or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental child in general, once he just stands there and wrings his hand and doesn't know what to do.
You need to like give him a butter knife or something, teach him to start shanking stuff.
Nobody's
Yeah.
ever thought to do that. He knows 3 languages. But
Not my kid.
You guys can survive.
Like he can be an attack room.
just kind of standing in the corner, just like,
We let Ezekiel handle his discipline.
Yeah.
Zip will no longer exist with you.
Okay. So
What are you doing?
I got it now. I got it now.
Go.
I know what it is. So I'm gonna cast my new spell, Otiliuke's Freezing Sphere,
Oh my.
in the center of the room, because it's got like a 60-foot radius. I figured that'll
It's bigger than the entire room. but
Right.
Yes.
And in an Austrian accent, I'm going to be like, everybody chill. And that's the verbal component of this spell, by the way. Everybody
With this guy.
chill.
Everybody chill.
And it's an exciting
funny.
adventure every day. And cast Otiliuke's Freezing Sphere. So everybody, I guess including you guys, is going to take a little cold damage, but like,
I don't.
okay, a little bit. Everybody's going to take kind of a lot of cold damage.
Oh shit.
Did you cast it at max level?
You could have morphed into a bear.
It's a 6th level spell.
Dude,
Jesus.
that's all you come up with?
Sounded good.
10d6, right?
Yeah.
I think a couple of us are going to lose some toes.
Everybody make the Constitution saving throw.
Like the bear.
I'm just gonna say that all
Everybody
they-
gets
they-
+2.
I wanted to
You get +2, thank
kill
you.
all the commoners.
you got about 20 something commoners left.
Hey, do you
And I
see
guess
that?
I'm gonna have to do it too. It's
What's
gonna
your
hit
Constitution
myself.
saving throw?
+6 plus an extra 2, so that's still a 9. But
What's
I rolled
your
double
AC?
ones.
It's going to be a con save of 17
Oh, you lose.
for full damage, half damage.
Yeah. Everybody, what did everybody get?
It just sucks to roll two ones.
Now-
1 second.
Crom, what you got?
I got a 19 on my con save, but I'm also resistant to cold damage.
Well,
Oh,
you
I'll do
saved
it.
anyway.
But
So
I want bonus points.
you save, so it's half, but then you are also resistant, so
it's another
Quarter.
half.
It's
So you
another-
take,
it's a quarter.
damage. And I guess I'll have to roll a con save
you're in
If
the
you're in
area.
because I'm in the area.
Go for it, and then roll for damage. My guess is you'll hurt everybody in your party, but kill everybody else. There are no heroes in this room other than y'all.
Hey, me and
Are
him
we-
tried to
are
do it
we
the
heroes?
passive way.
Some of them ran out.
Surprisingly.
There are, and as you all are hearing the screams and yells, like just the people in this room, the commoners have gone crazy and they're just screaming and like animals. But you also distantly hear the same thing from other parts of the large town you're in, like
Oh,
out
no.
of the street.
So when
This
we
is
get out of
happening-
here-
No, we're not getting up.
Everywhere
We're
in
getting
town.
ourselves in for the night.
Barricade.
Yeah.
Oh man, my horses.
I guess they could just set us on fire.
Well, they're in their
Yeah,
field,
we
I don't
get
know.
the cold chill off.
They
Of
might
it.
be fine.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're
Did you
they're
see any
attacking
horses in
horses.
town while you were walking around?
I'm talking about my
That's what
horse.
I'm saying.
Y'all
If you
bought
didn't
some
see a
horses.
I know, but if you didn't see a single horse on the street, your horses may be fucked.
I don't
If
know.
they're-
Oh no,
No.
you definitely saw other horses.
Yeah.
in town.
Okay. So your horses will probably survive the night.
Okay, so I failed the saving throw as well. And for as far as damages goes,
Dude.
Ogre.
it's going slow. Hold on. Okay, 10d6.
Don't blame the computer.
Man, 10d6. That's a lot of d6. Okay, here it goes.
That is all of these things.
What the?
Thank you for that.
It made sounds first.
Drum roll.
Up.
Everybody drum roll.
So it's full damage is going to be 33 cold damage.
Oh.
Oh god. Yeah, so everybody that failed takes 33 cold damage. Everybody that did not fail takes 16 cold damage. As you watch this, as Chomp extends his hand and from his fingers extend like these trails of like icicles almost that go out to the center of the room, and they just explode out into shrapnel of ice, hitting everybody in the room, including all of yourselves, and you take some damage. But every commoner in the room just falls dead.
But
In this like wave of ice.
and all of the liquid in the room freezes, so all of the drinks are going to be.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look at you from my bloody position now.
I'd say any hard liquor in the room
Overkill.
is still liquid, but
Frosty.
beers, ales are still are definitely frosty.
Yeah, that wasn't.
As soon as they
Yeah,
get a
it
second,
was.
Is everybody okay?
what the fuck runs the
it's
door?
half my
to
hit
shut it?
points.
Yeah.
Okay,
What the
you
hell?
can bar the door easy enough.
Yeah.
Just put it. There is a place to actually put a bar in the way.
Yes. Barricade the
even-
door.
That didn't even drop me below 100.
Oh, I am half dead from the.
Shut the windows.
Yeah, he's squishy.
Yeah.
As you all
Thank you.
You got all your
barricade the
help.
place
Thank you.
and figure out your own crap, you quiet for a moment to listen, and you hear thousands of screaming voices from the streets of Byroden of people just killing each other in who knows how many ways. And you don't know why this is happening or what's going on.
This is the purge town.
Kind of.
Well, I'm going to bed. See y'all in the morning.
But you have barricaded the door. Occasionally you hear a thump and a couple
we should
hard
barricade.
bangs against the door.
The door, and then Lehman's on top of the door.
But it is a fairly thick door. You have a bar in the way, and as you saw with the commoners in this room, they weren't exactly. They suddenly went animalistic. They weren't necessarily trying to like think about things. And so occasionally, though, you may hear some bangs against the doors because they're barred. Nobody seems to get in.
It's like dumb zombies.
You would, I would
Fast.
assume the
dumb
worst.
zombies, yeah.
Guys, this is crazy. Also, it goes without saying, sorry about the cold.
Mhm.
Some of you are
It
fairly
woke
hurt.
me up.
You almost killed me. Boy killed me.
Yep, that's why I'm apologizing.
All right. So,
But, all worked out. Everything's fine.
okay,
Everything's good, guys.
we're all okay.
We're going to barricade the doors.
What do y'all want to do for right? Because it's now just after sundown. What do y'all want to do for the night?
What the fuck is going on?
Can you
Divine
draw a
sense.
teleportation circle and get us the fuck out of here?
Divine sense.
And
Yeah,
I have a
specifically
handful of
evil.
places we could go.
Now you want to.
Well, there's a situation outside.
Okay.
No, but
You suddenly smell just this noxious, evil, like phosphorus scent.
Mm.
It seems like everywhere around you, as far as you can, perceive.
Okay.
In the room, you can smell it from the bodies that have died. It's starting to fade. From outside the room, you can smell it kind of leaking in through the doors and windows. Like the entire town seems to have gone entirely evil within one sunset.
So I tell them about that.
We didn't prevent anything.
Yeah, it prevented us being killed.
But yeah,
Uh,
there's a demon, devil.
I mean, you have no idea. Like it's
Something.
evil, but you're not sure exactly what. It's just this
Controlling
noxious. Oh,
everyone?
you know it's from your divine sense. You know it's evil from this noxious scent. You're not sure the problem.
So basically everything's going off. I'm not getting like a specific.
It's from outside this plane of existence. You get that much. It doesn't seem to be necessarily a devil or demon. It's something other from outside, but still evil.
Yeah, so
some of that.
there's something bad here.
Yeah.
Probably Yellow King.
Is there anything I can do to help? No, make your circle. I'll move some shit
I'm
out of
clearing
the
this
way.
spot
I'll
away.
move-
Ron.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, yeah.
The roof.
Okay. What do y'all want to do right now? I mean, other than the occasional bang on the doors,
We could wait
stage and
out.
escape. Get to the horses
like
and the
nothing
cart.
seems to
and
be getting into
I mean, we're
the tavern you're
We'd
in.
have to take off.
You
We
killed
can.
everything inside this tavern.
Let's stay in tavern.
Okay, so do we want to try to help or sedate these people?
no
Okay, I'm just going through all the options.
right,
Okay.
and we're answering. No.
Okay.
Were,
Do we
the,
want to run from it?
were the bodies going
Through a
undergoing
hole?
an
Teleport?
actual transformation?
You know, yeah.
You did not see an actual transformation. Like, other
we
than
want to
in the
investigate?
eyes, people seem to
We
go
already
from
have.
humanish to just
First-hand account.
bestial. Like, I'm gonna kill everything.
So they
around me.
didn't have any like any
Not-
kind of
Not
physical
trans-
manifestation.
No, just it was entirely
Okay, so
In
I
there.
If
think
we could help,
like,
like,
just went
chill everybody
something
out.
crazy.
right.
Okay.
Everyone in the room at once.
I think the
Yeah.
options right now are we
You said it
hold up.
happened around sundown? Or
Yeah.
maybe
So we
Mhm.
basically have to hold up here until maybe sunrise, or we teleport out of here to like fires or
But then we're
I only know like
farther
maybe
away from
2
where
or
we need
3
to
other
be.
places.
and they're just commoners. Let's just wait them out.
And you can hear like the commoners out in the street aren't just like looking for you; they're attacking each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the ones in the room were attacking each other, and they're killing each other. Like you can hear people dying out.
Right, so
in the
I think
streets.
Do we want to try to help? Or we just
No.
let everybody
I think
just kill
we're-
each
our
I
other?
don't think
resounding
we have a way
no.
to help, other than killing them, which they're gonna do it.
I'm gonna ask you.
Which they
Should
seem
we
to be
cut their
doing
heads
fine
off,
on their
or will
own.
they resurrect?
No, just leave them.
So we don't need to go around cut their heads off. Okay.
We could like go on.
Yeah, as long as they didn't go through a
You could.
physical manifestation.
I mean, the tavern
Yeah.
you're in is a three-story tavern. You can go up on the roof there. It's the tallest building in the area. There's other taller buildings in Byroden, but in this section of town near the outskirts, it's one of the tallest buildings. So
Yeah.
you'd be safe going
I
up
think
we
there.
want to clear the.
I kinda
then
wanna
could
see
I
what's
go
happening
up
out
to the
there.
top floor and
Yeah.
Yeah,
look
let's.
out windows, see if I
You
can?
could. There's actually a stairs that goes up to an actual like open roof area.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So
there.
I kinda wanna see
I say we make this the fortress.
Mhm.
There's the
At least
Alamo.
the evening. We've got the windows and doors closed up. Let's go. The upper 2 floors. Let's check them out,
Mhm.
and then let's go up to the roof.
I like a rooftop bar.
You're taking some booze with us?
Let's get yeah.
You can.
Oh,
The bar is free.
absolutely. We
Start
are
throwing
jumping.
beer bottles
We
at
are
the-
jumping over the bar
Just might as well
and
just
grabbing
stay sober.
Yeah.
whatever.
What was that movie where they were popping zombies from the top of a roof, just shooting them for sport? Just we're
Yeah.
throwing beer bottles at them.
Yeah.
Just,
And before we go up there, though, I'd like to loot some of the bodies.
I mean, looting some of the bodies, you get
Mhm.
4 gold, 20 silver, and about 36 copper.
Any jewelry?
Not in this town. No, there's some cheap jewelry. Like it seems to look well,
cubic
but
zirconiums.
Yeah.
when you get it, yeah, exactly. It's like glass beads that look like something, and then stuff that's bronze or brass.
Okay.
I mean, seems like there was a source of one person that it started with. I don't know.
There's one person I seen the manifest in earlier,
Yeah.
but everybody seemed freaked out around the same time.
All right, let's.
It's almost like they had anticipated it. You think, looking back.
Cool. What do we see upstairs?
All right. On the roof, you see a town in anarchy. People killing each other. Parts of the town look to be on fire. Just people running at each other and tearing each other apart with their fingernails. They're not even claws, just like with their bare hands trying to tear each other's faces apart down on the streets.
The Kingsman, that's what.
And this, yeah, basically, it's that scene in The Kingsman in the church.
Yeah.
In the church.
One of the best ever.
But on an entire large town level, like 8,000 people.
Listen
are
for a
going at each
radio
other.
frequency.
It goes on for a while, slowly tapers off. You hear pockets of it still going until late in the night / early morning. It just starts to go silent. And slowly, you all get some rest on the rooftop, having barred the door, maybe putting up the dome. You get enough rest. But comes sunup, you suddenly hear parts of the city sound like a city. There's carts going. There's people setting up their shops. There's people starting to hawk their wares. It sounds like a normal city suddenly below you.
I peek over the edge of the roof and look down. What are there, like, bodies?
Nope. There are the regular people in the streets opening their shops.
What about
I
downstairs?
rushed back
Is the
downstairs.
dead body still downstairs?
If you unbar the door and go downstairs, you don't see any bodies. And in fact, you see Franlin, the barkeep, at the
Divine
bar.
sense.
And as you come down specifically at first, she looks at you with this kind of almost guilty look on her face,
They remember.
but a knowing look. No evil though. You don't sense any evil in anybody in the room. You see, there's maybe 20 people in the room. A lot of them seem to be waking up from maybe sleeping on the tables as like shaking off
Can
their
we,
drunkenness. But they say it just seems like a normal maybe Tuesday morning in Byrodep. and Franlin is just continuing to stare at you with this look on her face of kind of a little bit of pain, but also guilt. The rest of you come down the stairs behind, just wondering what the hell is going on, and everything seems entirely normal.
Is there a Sonny and Cher song playing?
Ha!
The jukebox?
No.
Alarm clock?
Okay, round on. For a second there, I was like, what is he talking about?
I mean, what do you all want to say to anyone?
I'd rather just get the fuck out of town. It's weird.
I want answers.
Okay. You gonna ask the bartender?
Sure. What the hell's going on?
Franlin looks at you as you come down the stairs, saying, "What the hell's going on?" She looks at you and says, we haven't made any money in so long. It's been weak. It's been so long. Just let me." And she looks over at someone. "Get the mayor. Wait for the mayor."
Okay.
And you have to wait a little bit, but eventually a halfling walks in. This well-dressed male halfling, who, as you come in, like takes his vest and kind of on the labels and like trying to look presentable. Everybody continues to have this look of just not enough sleep and bags under their eyes. And as he comes up to you, says, you survived. That's unexpected. You're the first to do that. I'm sorry." And he starts to kind of break down into tears. Just, it's about a half a week gone. We all started going just insane. We started killing each other, and then when we wake up in the morning, everything's fine. We're all alive, but we have the memories of the death and the killing, and we don't know what's going on. And just kind of breaks down into sobbing. But it sounds like every night they
How long
start
would you
killing
know?
each other no matter who's in town. Whoever dies in town ends up waking up the next morning as they were the day before. And then at sundown the next day, continues killing each other.
When did this start?
Just,
Less than 4 or 5 days.
So if we would have been killed last night, we would have woken up the same?
Not able to leave. If you had woken up the next day after that, you would be here. We can't escape. We can't. And he just once again dissolves into tears.
Guys, I think we're in a Groundhog's Day scenario.
I think we should get the hell out of Dodge.
Definitely get out of here.
I don't want to stay here all my life.
Or we
my
could have been in the
lives.
Groundhog Day scenario.
Well,
We could do a significant amount of canvassing in the town and big questions, but
You have an
We don't
entire
want to-
day ahead of you.
we do not want to
leave
be
way
here
before
tonight.
dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that, though, we're gonna leave it until next session because we're getting on 7:30. Sean's gonna leave, so.
Yeah.
But there's revelations to come. You guys are getting closer.
Great. Hey, if my car's not out front, that means my boyfriend needed it. Can I get a ride out with somebody? Yeah. Thank you. Not far. But
All right.
last week I walked.
I can't
last
really
time I walked
like
over a really big guy and he scared me.
And it was cold, and I was like,
Yeah.
she should just jump in here. Like I was like, but then
It was-
you cut across, and I was like, we can't.
Yeah, it was fine, but then I got down and there's this big, huge guy walking towards me, and I'm like, hi, there's nowhere to go, so I'll just keep